this action going, get the Twitter people aware. Facebook hooligans should be ready. Hopefully by the time I say all these awful things, there's enough people in chat to heckle me again. Because, I mean, let's face it, without chat heckling me, it wouldn't be great. Facebook hooligans should be ready. Alright, I think we're all live. Hopefully y'all can see me. Hopefully this little Logitech device actually functions as well as I think it does. Alright, I see myself. When is this going to start? Matt Severa, is that actually you? It can start whenever you want it to, baby. You want to ship me a legacy deck, we can practice legacy for you too, but I don't know, I told people they're coming from Modern Action, but we can run some legacy work after. Ooh baby, look at all these sweet little emotes. What's up, Squirrel? What's up, Duckamoy? Welcome back. Oh my god, LSV, hi. Is Luis at the point where he has so many emotes that he just like, please God now, like help you with legacy? Isn't it so easy? Didn't you break it? Aren't you just gonna win the Grand Prix? You're gonna win 4 Grand Prix in 4 months. Or 5 months, or whatever unbelievable amount it is. Alright, so I'm antsy tonight. I want to battle. I want to win some matches Modern, so we're just going to jump right into it. We're going to let people catch up. Holy cannolis, MTG bot's been updated. Eternal and Duelist card look up, blah 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 blah. Oh, you came for the Modern? LC has 20 emotes? Man, we need to start getting a subscriber button so we can try to race Luis to 30 emotes. Holy crap, Wonka, you're going all the way to Europe? Where are you from? Like, do you live in the States/Canada, North America area, and you're flying all the way over to Europe for work? So that sounds pretty awesome. I'm kind of jealous. Work's never taken me to Europe, unless you count Magic as work, but I don't know, I'm lucky enough that I get to call it a hobby, unlike some hooligans. Holy crap. Dokamo, I haven't even seen like a third of these. I haven't seen LC Wrecked or Ham or High before until you said that. The burrito's great. It reminds me of the little rap that he got for, I think it was for Naya from Paul. Alright, let's get in this game. Oh, okay, you're from Malta, nice. Not too bad then, you're already basically there. It's just a hop, skip, and a jump away. And in reality, you're probably still flying like 3.5 hours. That's awesome. Alright, so we're on the draw here. Our hand sucks. Our first play wouldn't be till turn 3 Kolaghan's Command. We'd have to like flash in a Snapcaster on 2. I think his hand's a mulligan, so we're going to chuck it back. This hand's fantastic. This is basically a 100% turn 2 Tasigur, unless for some reason we have to like bolt and draw a second bolt. So we're going to keep this, and we're going to see a counter squall on top, which this Delta is going to get a Steam Vents, Lightning Bolt, we'll probably kill something, we'll Thought Scour, get out of Tasigur. I'm going to go ahead and keep this card in the dark. Just a different form of interaction that we don't already have in a Dark Slick Shores. Fairies? I mean, I guess this is Fairies, and this person's just trying it out before we have access to the new Smother, which I'm going to call Fatal Blow, but I'm not sure the name. What's up, Jack? Oh, God. Jacompt? Oh, God. I'm sorry. Pronunciation is not my strong suit. But welcome to the channel. Welcome your first time. Oh, yeah. You guys see the rhino? My best friend, she got it for me for Christmas because she's awesome. I love rhinos. Alright, opponents in the know. They took one of our Thought Scours. We won't let them take a second one. Hopefully that they don't get to turn 2 Bitter Blossom down here. They are on the play, so if they do have a turn 2 Bitter Blossom, this Counter Squall is going to lose a lot of its equity. A Sleight of Hand. Alright, discard's not usually played by the Ad Nauseam deck, so I'm not totally certain what this is yet. A second copy of Inquisition. Alright, so we're going to go ahead and fetch ourselves to a second card, Thought Scour ourselves to 5 cards. We're going to resolve a turn 2 Tassiger here with the Lightning Bolt up. I would expect my opponent to, I guess, Thought Scour or not Thought Scour, Inquisition my Lightning Bolt here if there's some sort of creature strategy, and potentially my Counter Squall, or whatever random card we end up picking up here. Hopefully it's not like a Kolaghan's Command and putting a Snapcaster in the yard. Well, they're not taking that one. Of note, we milled over another Counter Squall there, so not in the worst of shapes here. Oh yeah, Dokkan Weiss is our Siege Rhino. I don't know how well you guys can see him. His name's Riley. I'll try to keep him in the stream view. Right now he's just sitting on all the pillows that are on my bed. Riley, you're not allowed to fall down just yet, buddy. Alright, so they did take our other Counter Squall. Just gonna get Senior Task. Ooh, Snapcaster Mage. And our opponent doesn't know about it? That's unlucky for our opponent. I'm just going to keep the Counter Squall in the graveyard and exile the rest of this nonsense. Unfortunately, don't have a third land currently. Hopefully it's not the end of the world. Yeah, Big Nate, that's actually my hope. Like, at first I was worried that, you know, maybe it's going to cause a bunch more people to play, like, different blue decks that might actually be going over the top of what Grixis is doing in its grind game. We're getting Snapcaster Inquisition now? Goodness gracious. That's kind of brutal. Now we shouldn't draw a Snapcaster Mage. Oh, they're Sleight of Handing. That's perfectly fine. Perfectly acceptable. Yeah, my current instinct is to go down to 3 bolts and 2 terminates, but I mean, it's also possible we're supposed to go down to 3 cryptics. It depends what the metagame starts looking like. Like, we don't know if it's actually going to cause people to slow down and put more 3-mana creatures in their deck. We don't know if people are going to adapt and just not play creatures altogether. My natural instinct is to conclude from the printing of that card that Bant Eldrazi will get slightly better. Oh yeah, Scooter, I don't, like, the reason why I jumped off of the deck for Indianapolis was because I thought Bolt was so bad. And with Bolt being so bad in the metagame, I just didn't want to play Grixis, and I played Infect at that tournament hoping that everyone else would also conclude their Lightning Bolts are so terrible. Ended up drawing another great card there, however, stuck on 2 mana here. Still not really sure what my opponent's doing. I'm probably going to take a hit or 2 from their Snapcaster Mage before I have to end up bolting it. I'd rather like kick command it, shock and discard. Tectonic Edge? Holy moly. Alright, well, 4th land's not going to be so hot this game. Maybe they have a Glendale Archmage or something, I don't really know what's going on. Yeah, Rudy, that's part of the reason why I still want some number of Terminates, is there still are large creatures. I guess my opponent can like Cryptic Command bounce my Tassiger and sort of nonsense, but... Ooh, Basic Mountain. We are really going to cast this Cryptic Command sometime this game. Alright, at least now we're in a spot we can let Lightning Bolt and hold up Snapcaster when the time comes. Return target permanent to owner's hand and draw a card. Okay. Trying to think if I want to make him discard a card right now. I think I do, just while they're all tapped out. Start fighting the good fight in the grindy game here. So make them discard, kill Snappy Doo. Doesn't leave our mana up, but our opponent knows 3 of the 4 cards in our hand. They discarded Basic Swamp, which is fine. It's blue-black Days Undoing, like the Time Walk that you skip your turn. Holy moly. I liked it when I played way too much Modern. Now I just don't even know what deck people are playing. Days Undoing. Goodness gracious. Alright, hopefully the Snare does something. I doubt it does if it really Days Undoing. Goodness gracious. So they're just going to get a bunch of lands into play, make a bunch of land drops, and then do a bunch of nonsense, I guess. Umpax, currently we are on the same 75 as we ran back last stream. I'll go ahead and post it up after the match. Tassagoyf of their own. Unfortunate. Resolves. Opponent's Cryptic up 2. Also unfortunate. Could fire off a bolt here, just get another card in the graveyard to recast my Tassagar, but it's almost certainly going to get Cryptic. Opponent left their own Cryptic in the yard, only paid 1 mana. Obviously they really would like to return theirs. I think I'm in a pretty bad spot, but I think I'm still in a decent enough spot that I just want to draw a land so I can try to Bolt Snap Bolt here. Or I could just draw another Lightning Bolt. Tough but fair. Given they have enough mana up to do things, I'm just going to go ahead and see if they'll activate Tassagar here on their end step. And if they don't, we'll just do it in their upkeep. Alright, so they're going to activate here. Given that I'd rather have the option of giving them back their Tassagar, I'm going to go ahead and double bolt this right now. It doesn't leave up my Spell Snare, but that's not the biggest of my priorities here. Sure, I can get hit by a Tar Pit also, that's perfectly fine. Alright, so opponent milled over Jace, Architect of Thought, and a second Tassagar. So our opponent's just trying to go over the top of this here. They're definitely very successful at it. I think with Snapcaster in my hand, I want to give my opponent Jace. Yeah, I'm going to give my opponent Jace. The reason why I'm giving them Jace is I can snap back a bolt here and just beat it up. Holy crap, are we sure we're in the Modern League? This is rough. We're not in Kansas anymore, boys and girls. What's up, Wong? We're getting rock'em sock'em boppered. You walked in at the wrong time. Opponent's beating the living crap out of us. And it ain't pretty. It's a little soul crushing. Alright, this ult's at 8. Opponent has a Tech Edge in play and a million Tar Pits. They have another Planeswalker in their hand. The jig's going to be up when we play this Tarn and don't use it. But I think I just need to hold up Snapcaster Counter Squall this turn and then try to fight the good fight against this Obnixilis. I think that's more effective than Snapcaster bolting this, but... See if I Snapcaster goes to 7, we'll say. I bolt it down to 4, I attack it down to 2. We might actually be more likely to Snapcaster and bolt. If they lead on Tech Edge, we'll have to make a decision, but... A million Tar Pits. All of the Tar Pits. This is horrendous. We're just getting our ass kicked. Okay, are we actually going to win a game in which they play Jace here and plus it? What would be our plan? Our plan would be to play a Tassagar. It'll then get minused on by Obnixilis. That'll be at 6, so it'll go down to 3. So I think we just have to Snapcaster on the Bolt, because that'll get the Obnixilis down to 4. I'm sorry, the Obnixilis will go to 5 because we'll play it on the Counter Squall. And we'll attack it because they won't play the Jace. If they do play the Jace pluses. We Bolt, redirect to Obnixilis. Obnixilis goes down to 4, goes down to 3 on our attack, and then they have a Jace on 5 and Obnixilis on 4. Blah, Vomit City. Vomit City. Alright, well... Yeah, Scooter, the problem is we're not really taxing our opponent's mana very well here. If we're doing any reasonable job of that, I'd be in a more optimistic mindset. Oh yeah, that is a 5 mana Planeswalker. that our opponent decided to cast in Modern. I, for one, am jealous. Okay, they do end up plussing as expected. Alright, let's bolt them. Fortunately, we don't have the tools to try to like burn them out, so I think we're going to have to try to chug through Planeswalkers somehow. No, we don't want to redirect to Jace. We do want to redirect to Ob Nixilis. We can fetch Ion Step. I think we need to. Another Tassaglyph. Alright, we're gonna hit Obby B down to 3. Hopefully they don't ult Jace on us. Phoenix Lancer, or Phoenix Lance, I don't really know. I just know that we're not winning right now. It's not going well. Life's great, but this game's not going well. We're a little short on mana. I'm just going to leave the Lightning Bolt for now. I doubt this Spellstunner actually does anything in this matchup from what I've seen. I mean, my opponent probably has like negates or something, but we haven't seen any of those. Alright, they're drawing cards with Ob Nixilis. That's probably a really bad sign for us. It means our Tasker might get dismembered. Ooh, Jace is drawing cards. Good for us. Mana Leak, Remand, Serum Visions. Well, I'm already so far behind. I don't think I care about counter spells. I think I care about them drawing more cards. Am I more afraid of a Mana Leak or a Remand? We'll separate piles like that. I don't think my hand can actually fight through 2 counter spells, so we'll try to fight through 1. My opponent could just start killing his tar pits whenever they feel like it too. The reason to not fetch basic island there is I think it's like rather necessary. We're going to need 2 black sources at some point. Like, sure, we don't have any more counter squalls in the deck, but it's very likely we're going to get to a spot where we're going to have to like Tassiger plus Kolaghan's command in the same turn somewhere down the line. Hero's Downfall. Okay. My opponent topped. Yeah. Yeah. Sure. How will I sideboard? My opponent brings in Liliana of the Dark Realms. My current plan is I'm probably going to bring in the Damnation, or not the Damnation, the Fulminator Mages, Negate, Dispels, stuff of that nature. What has Remand in their hand? This sucks. This sucks. Alright, alright, yeah, we're just done here. Let's just conserve time of our lives. We're not actually winning our opponent's drawing 5 cards a turn. Rudy, we're gonna try to mana screw him. Alright, so we want these dispels, we want this negate, we want these fulminators. Let's try to think, what are like the big cards going over the top our opponent is likely to bring in? So they have a bunch of 2 mana counter magic, they have some discard spells, they could bring in Bitter Blossom. They could just try to win with their Planeswalker threats and Snapcaster's Tar Pits. Seems like their best route to victory. Is there any like necessity for them to have Kalitas in their deck? No. Glenelenge or Archmage? Not really. Yeah, C2B, I mean, if you find your thing, you do you. You don't have to do anything crazy. I mean, that's what I ended up doing. I was like, yeah, I like Grixis, so I'm going to do that. Killing Frenzy, I dislike how Mana Leak goes dead pretty quickly in the late game. There's a lot of decks that just function off of 1 mana spells. And our deck pretty frequently goes to about turn 12. That being said, they can't be too horrible. I mean, Stephen Mann won the PTQ this past weekend with 2 copies of Mana Leak and 0 copies of Counter Squall. So, if they're wrong, they're not that wrong, and if they're right, then, I mean, they're much better against creatures like Zoo or something. Alright, so I'm pretty unhappy with some number of these bolts. This engineered explosives. Some number of these terminates. I think I want to leave in 2 terminates for Tassigers. Trying to think if I want any copies of Bolt. I think I can kill Tar Pits with just terminates and Kolagon's command. So I'm going to cut all my bolts, even though they're on my ways to actually get through walkers. I think I want all my cryptics on the play. Currently I have this brutality slotted in to help fight counter magic, but I don't actually know if I can tap 2 mana on my turn. I assume these spell snares are going to be great to fight over Snapcaster mages. Alright, whatever. We're going to take corrected brutality. It might be wrong. I think I'd prefer the cantrips. I think I prefer the other cryptic. Yeah, Stupid Man's now won 2 BTKs of this deck. Guy's a monster. I can't even win 2 matches. He wins 2 VTKs. I'd love to play first. We don't have a turn 1 Ancestral Visions, but we do have a turn 2 Ancestral, which obviously could get discarded. I think mulliganing this hand is just a mistake, so we'll keep. Obviously it's going to suck if we get Inquisitioned or Thoughtseized here on turn 1. Opponent went to 6 here. Put the card on the bottom. Alright. Tar Pit, you're up, friend. Hopefully don't get hand disrupted here. Pluto Delta does not insinuate they're not getting hand disrupted. Basic Swamp means we're really getting hand disrupted. Alright, well that sucks. Not great. Fortunately, I don't have any more cantrips to smooth out this hand. But, yeah, that helps. Certainly helps. Second Serum, we drew Polluted Delta and a Tassiger. I'm going to top both of these cards, keeping the Tassiger second. Yeah, keeping the Tassiger second. We'll play as Tap Blood Crypt. My current plan is to not play the Serum Visions the next turn, for the record. My plan is to just play the Fetch Land and hold up Countersquall. Not that I really know what I'd be Countersqualling on 3 mana, but it's more likely I end up using Spell Snare and like a Snapcaster Mage, but my opponent knows I have the Snare, so it's unlikely for them to do anything with it anyways. It's more of it that I don't want to burn my Serum Visions with the Fetch Land in play, and I do want the Tassiger. So like I want both of the cards pretty badly, so basically I'm just trying to get full equity out of my Serum Visions. As the game's going to go long, and I'd rather not have to play it until I need to. Draw the Daskvars to hold Skull. Cruelest, my natural instinct is to cut 1 Bolt and 1 Terminate to play 2 copies of the card and go up to 10 Fetch Lands. That's my just sort of instinct from looking at the card, but I assume we'll know a lot more now that we know there's at least 1 cycle of the play of free spell cards, as we saw the one in green that is you draw cards, you go to the highest CMC of guys you control, and then you get to cast a card for 5 mana or less for free. What's up, Trevolution? I'm gonna hope that's you, Treving. Squirrel Loot. You just have like my Twitter on, like, I don't know, almost like speed dial on top of it. Alright, I figured it out. It is you guys. What's up, friends? Oh, I guess I could have clicked on your name, Trev. I'm really dumb. How's the little one doing? Yeah, no problem, coolest. I mean, as we learn more, I'll be sure to give back more feedback. Might try out a Mana Leak version tomorrow of this deck, as I believe the monthly mocks for January is this weekend. Unfortunately, it's my mom's birthday, so we're going to have to win really quickly. But goal is going to be go 6-2 or better, pick up some more open ladder points for the mocks. Certainly going to be playing Grixis, but hopefully we don't play against more blue-black control. I don't know what our opponent's doing here. I have 6th already. I mean, just hanging out with their Siege Rhino buddy. You gotta hang out for the stream rally. Everybody wants to say hi. In your future protection. Oh man. Alright, well, you guys saw the message there on screen. The opponent disconnected, so hopefully Osman will be back soon. As I think they'd love to give us another thorough trouncing like they did last game. Nice sneak. Yeah, you could certainly put some Consumi Minix in your deck. You could always do that too. I mean, our opponent put Obnixilis in their deck. What's up, TVS? TVS, we need to get you to win another PTQ. Is there another limited Grand Prix you can just go win a tournament? Isn't there a limited Grand Prix in like 4 weeks? 3 weeks? We need to get Papa TBS back on the train. Better be. I wake up every morning when there's a PTQ, you tell me you're playing, and I get to see your awful sealed pools, and I'm like, well, I could go back to bed, or I can give them my feedback for 5 minutes. I just try to give you whatever feedback I have, and then I just go back to sleep, and I hope that I wake up from a bad dream where your sealed pool's terrible. And that your sealed pool's actually just great. But it hasn't happened yet. Alright, so as I said, we're just going to play our Delta, keep our Tasigur on top. We'd like to get more full value out of the Serum Visions. Running out the Snapcaster. Alright, opponent, alright, I'll bite. Alright, so we're going to draw our good buddy here off the top. I'm going to fetch an untapped Steam Vents. Reason for getting a Steam Vents is I want 2 of each color in play. Because we know our opponent has access to Tectonic Edges. As it's possible I need more black here, I'm going to tap the blue-red land to Serum Visions. This is get us 5th card in the yard. If we find an untapped land, we can also hold up Counter Skull more than likely. We did in fact find an untapped land, so that's nice. I'm going to bottom the island and top the Flooded Strand. I guess it's not going to matter as we're likely going to use the Scalding Tarn. I guess we don't have to. We have to if we want to leave any of these cards in our graveyard, though. Do we want this nonsense here? It's possible our opponent has Dismember up. Opponent could Dismember up. If I would leave anything, it'd be the Spell Snare currently. Alright, yeah, fine. I'm just going to get a basic island. Talked myself out of it. Alright, leave that Snare there. Leave up Counter Squall. Shove it back to the enemy. And hopefully our Banana King can go the distance. What's up, Phoenix Lance? Your question you've answered before, but how do I like 22 lands? To be completely honest, I wish I could play more. The deck really wants to play 23, but there's just not really room. So this is another attack spot we had previous stream where I think this is just 100% attack. I think our opponent knows where Kolaghan's command, but we're willing to race here as they're stuck on 3 lands, and we've got some more expensive spells in our hand. I'd be surprised if they blocked, in all honesty. They're thinking about it, holy crap. I mean, I guess if they really wanted to resolve a non-creature spell, they could block there, but it's aggressive. So here, we could just Cryptic Bounce their silly Tasigur. Just draw a card, fetch up a tap land. What's the worst thing they can do back to us? Play some crazy permanent we can never beat, probably. We'd want to get a Watery Grave tapped. Opponent has no cards in their graveyard. God, I really want to do that. Alright, yeah. I think we're going to do that. If our opponent gets us somehow, they get us somehow. I'm fetching first because I just actually wanted our spells at this point. Sure, if I draw an Ancestor, I'm going to be sad that I fetched the land tapped, but... And yes, I'm aware I'm burning a hard counter here, but purpose here is actually just buy tempo. Like, if my opponent's entire turn there was exile their entire graveyard with Tasigur, I can't imagine what their play is going to be this turn where it's like tempo positive for them. Unfortunately, no basic or non-basics for us to blow up. That's fine. We'll just whack them over the head with this Tasigur. This puts them on a 2-turn clock, so I'm going to go ahead and run it out there. If they decide to fight a counter war over it, whatever, it can die and also set up counter squall. Remand. Sure. A little less optimistic that they got to draw a card off of it. Could have not played a spell for that reason, but... 3rd blue, 1 black still. So they still can't even Hero's Downfall, which is nice. Currently on 4 red also, so if we draw another untapped land here, we have Cryptic and Squall available. Scooter, the reason why I don't like bouncing an island there is that they already missed a land drop the previous turn, so we're just giving them a land to play. And it's not like we're putting them on the fastest of clocks ever, where that land's going to get stuck in their hand and they're going to be unable to cast all their spells. They're just going to be unable to cast their spells anyways. Alright, so our opponent's going for main phase Cryptic, bounce your guy, draw. Well, I'm certainly going to counter this. Actually, am I going to counter this? Puts them to 9, I attack, put them to 5. I then have Cryptic up of my own, of which they have to find like a Hero's Downfall, so they have to find a black. Yeah, I'm just going to counter this. Depending on what we draw, we may deploy our Fulminator Mage here. We might attack with our Creeping Tar Pit, so we have 2 points of burn in our hand. Okay, so we hit them with a Tar Pit here. They're in a spot where they have to both deal with both our threats in play and deal with our Kolaghan's command. I don't really see a way with 1 black mana how they're dealing with both of our threats. So I'm going to play my Tarn out here, animate my Pit, and put them to 2. I don't remember the exact text on Slaughter Pact, but I think it's non-black creature. Yeah, Exodore, you were on it. You knew. Yep, Muyabi, you were also on it. Yep. Don't worry, Scooter, you're good. I'm glad you're bringing up other options. Slaughter Pact, instant destroy target non-black creature. Man, look at that memory. Look at that memory. Firing off. Okay. So they still have Taskers of their own. Still had Remand. All that makes sense. Discard spells. Cryptics. Is there any reason we want to find a Surgical Battle? Is Surgical actually better than any of the spells in our deck? Thought Scour gives us more options. The Fulminator Mages seemed not as good as I'd hoped they'd be. Seems like our opponent has a crap load of basics. Like, they could literally be on a list with like 12 basics. They might just be like blue-white control that ported over to black. So maybe these Fulminator Mages aren't great. Exodar. Yeah, that and Hive Mind are the first 2 decks that come to mind where I'm like, yeah, I should remember what Slaughter Pact does. Are they really, though? Between playing From and Burn in Modern. Is From supposed to be Tron Apple Pies? I think right now that Tron is a better deck. I personally would not like you playing Tron, but I also wouldn't like you playing Burn, so... if you have much more experience on Burn and you had a tournament coming up that you needed to do well at for some sort of like performance, like a PPTQ or an RPTQ, like obviously RPTQ is just passed, but something of that nature, then I would recommend you playing the deck that you're more experienced with, even if you think it's slightly worse right now. Yeah, Pact the Titan would have messed me up. Alright, so we have to figure out these stupid gray ogres with the ability to blow up a creeping tar pit or worth a card. We could bring, like, back in a Terminate, could bring in one Surgical, and could bring in, like, one Brutality. I just think there's a higher likelihood these Fulminator Mages are good than any of those nonsense cards. I think so, at least. Obviously, it's way worse than I'm on the draw, but... I mean, I could get a 0-mana Surgical going, like, mess up their Snapcasters, but my opponent's not, like, recurring Snapcasters. Yeah, BW Banks, if you can play your deck excellently, I think you're in a much better spot than just playing the best deck. I personally believe that's where a lot of the pros go wrong in Modern, where they just think that they have to play whatever the best deck is for the weekend, and it's like, no, if you just play the deck that you know super well, very, very well, then you're just going to do fine. Ugh. Alright, well, this is a hand where Fulminator Mage needs to be good. I think mulliganing this hand's also a mistake. I think mulliganing it against a deck with a bunch of discards is going to be a mistake. Alright, Fulminator Mage as a target. Get in there, Fulmy. Get in there, Fulmy. We're just going to try to start fetching out lands here. Fill up the graveyard for Senior Tasiglyph. My opponent's going to fire for discard spell. It's got to be his turn, yep. I would imagine they take my Counter Squall and leave up Counter Spell for my Fulminator going into their turn 4. Nope, they just snap off of... Snap it off. Okay, fair enough, fair enough. I'm just going to get a Water Grave here. Makes me believe my opponent's going to Snapcaster back this Inquisition, which isn't great for us. Okay, Water Grave. The creepiest of tar pits. Do we need to Counter Squall on 3 mana? We went over this last game. The answer I think is no. So we'll just leave up Dispel. Hand's getting kind of picked apart here. Yep, Snapcaster Inquisition, fair enough. Oh, Snapcaster Sleight of Hand. So they're worried about missing land drops, are they? Alright, we really need to stop drawing lands, deck. Please. You can draw some Kolaghan's Command action. What's up, Dynamax? Apple pies. The best part is most people will help you out, too. Like, look at me, I'm just sitting here just slowly killing myself. Now we're getting Snapcaster Inquisitioned. Yeah. It's not a great spot to be in. I am going to counter this one because I don't want to give my opponent the option. It's not like we have a spell we can actually fire off there, so... Get ourselves a Steam Vents. Way vey. Way vey. I think it's going to be difficult for our opponent to like Tech Edge our Tar Pit and play Meaningful Threat. Yeah, squirrel loot. We intentionally fetched to try to minimize this, but it still happened. Happens sometimes. Not great when it happens, but it happens. Opponents should honestly just hold up their mana for most of the rest of the game here at this point. They don't really have an incentive to do anything. They've got all the pressure in the world. They just kind of need to hold on to these 2 Snapcasters for dear life. Put the watery grave beside the basic mountain in my hand. I'm gonna end up playing the basic mountain here this turn, by the way. Seriously, Dynamax, I give my kingdom for an Electrolyze. Another not fantastic draw. I kept the hand hoping we draw some spells, but whatever, happens. It happens. Opponents should go for a spell here end of turn if they have one. Like, literally any spell is a good play by them. No. Alright, so they're also on not much action. The problem is they had 2 Snapcaster Mages of Scandor 0. Scooter, I'm not playing any. I like Electrolyze, I just think it's like too low impact for 3 mana. Obviously it'd be fantastic in this game, but I think the majority of decks 2 damage is just not worth the card. Collective Brutality with 1 mode. Yeah, I mean, I'll counter and draw. We're at that stage of our life, friend, where you can resolve a Tassiger if you'd like. That works too. But it's also a powerful Magic the Gathering card. Sleight of Hand, Victim of Night. Put the Sleight of Hand in its pile and it's on its own. Tasker doesn't even get us out of it here, so I'm not really that afraid of the Victim of Night. I would assume that our opponent's almost always going to take the card advantage pile here. Certainly, Abby, what you're saying is correct. Brutal. Brutal, brutal, brutal. Alright, so we're dead on the board. You're dead on the board. I don't know how we get our opponent to not kill us here. Maybe if I pray, but drawing 1 spell the entire game was not part of the equation. It's on, nope. Alright, what do we got this time? We got a Serum Visions versus a Tech Edge and a Tar Pit. Alright, well, Tar Pit's the best of those cards, so we'll separate that one out. Opponent, as per usual, takes card advantage pile, as I believe they always should. I think we have to hit our Tar Pit to block and force them to Tech Edge it. Please Victim of Night me. I'm a big scary creeping Tar Pit. Sorry, I just realized how badly that makes the screen flicker. I won't do that again. Yeah, greatness it is. We're getting thoroughly trounced. Split the cards, one top, one bottom, holding up a tar pit. So we're dobs to the tar pit. Can always hope our opponent doesn't go for it again. So I think that's what we'll do. Cancel that. Note, our opponent knows about this Blood Crypt in our hand. So I'm trying to make the play that looks the scariest, that holds up the most mana here to our opponent. So they won't go for a Creeping Tar Pit attack. To be honest, I can't imagine our opponent not just, like, going for it this turn, but... I mean, we also have a Victim of Night, but we have a Spell Snare for that. What's up, Mark? Alright, we'll float a black here. I think the jig's going to be up here in a second. When my opponent goes to combat, they'll just animate their tar pit in combat. They didn't animate their tar pit, interesting. Obviously, I can't activate my Tassiger there with the floating mana and the rest of my mana, because then my opponent just activates their tar pit and kills us. So we're trying to buy every turn we can. It's not easy, but we're fighting. We know of a Dark Sludge Source, and they played the other Tectonic Edge. We know of a Victim of Night and Dark Sludge Shores. Opponent correctly, going to make a spend mana on our turn. Hero's Downfall. Okay. Tough but fair. Alright, and we're done here. Alright, we tried fighting. Yeah, Dynamic Tectonic Edge is very good against this deck. Just Mana Denial in general is very good against the sort of flimsy nature of the deck. I just don't really plan to play many control mirrors. As, I mean, our deck really isn't a control deck at the end of the day. I mean, it's labeled Grixis Control, but it's as controlling as they let you get in Modern and get away with it. Later, Axarian. Delicious Waffles. I wish you had brought in Staticaster there, right? Opponent just played a turn 3 Snapcaster, turn 4 Snapcaster, and we just died. Thanks, Miriabi. Yeah, I mean, I think that they're a huge favorite game 1, and we obviously got pummeled in game 1, and then game 2, I'd say we got fortunate where I said our plan was to mana screw them, and I mean, they kept a 2 or 3 lander and just didn't draw out of it in time, and we were able to do exactly what they did to us in game 1. Am I Corey? Of course I am, Johnny Redeemed. What's up? My hair's a little bit shorter. I got a haircut 12:30? Not 12:30 today, but like December 30th. See, Delicious Waffles, I think you're like putting a dead card in your deck a lot of the times doing that. Like, trying to trade for their Snapcaster Mage really isn't worth a card in that many scenarios. I think like putting a card like that in your deck, you're just going to die to just like their Creeping Tar Pits attacking you, or more importantly, their Planeswalkers a lot more often. Alright, this hand's perfectly fine on 6. Another Lightning Bolt. I probably don't need a third bolt when I already have 2 bolts and I have a K command. If removal is good, this removal is good, and at that point I just need to find like Snapcasters and more lands. Obviously if removal is bad, this hand's probably horrendous. And playing against an island, I would assume that this hand's horrendous. Ooh, hand just got way better. Alright, so we'll go fetch down to 17 here. Opponent might be on Merfolk. Off of basic island, they might be on Storm, could be the Mirror. I don't usually lead on basic island ever in the Mirror without doing something with it, so I assume it's not the Mirror. I assume it's Merfolk. Second island insinuates Merfolk. Yep, Harbinger of the Tides. We are against the Merfolks. Haven't played against this matchup in a long while, so hopefully we won't make too many horrendous errors here. Not starting off strong, though. We already got an island on the battlefield, and we only have 2 lands. Just going to go ahead and bolt this right now. Hope to draw a 3rd land here so we can fire off the K command on the next turn. There's not many non-creature spells in the deck you really need to counter Squall, so. And also, if our opponent had a Spreading Seas, I think they should have just spread our Steam Vents, so. Kill this jerk right now. What the hell? Did our opponent just keep like a 5 island, 2 creature hand that they're just conceding to a turn 2 bolt with Ancestral and Suspend? Alright. Oh, our opponent conceded the match. Alright, well. I guess you know when you're beaten, so. Well, I mean, Mark certainly shows he's a smart dude. Like, to be able to play a deck like that in Modern and be able to win matches, like, gotta be pretty sharp, so. You know, good on them. What's up, Zach? How it goes? Yeah, I mean, we got a turn 2 victory. We probably need to ban Lightning Bolt. I mean, somebody call up Watsy. Get the DCI on the line. Maybe we cheated. I don't know. Somebody report me. You know, we can hold my case in a court of law. I'll get Tom Martell to defend me. I know he's really good with these things. Greatness, we didn't even show him the Snapcaster Mage. We just played, we suspended an Ancestral, and then we played Bolt. I don't think we did anything unreasonable. Or unreasonably. Here we're going to fetch Steam Vents on turn 1 in the case we do draw a Lightning Bolt. We also have a Thought Scour. With the second fetch land we are going to be able to play Tassiger on turn 2. Is the 2 fetch lands are 2 cards. The Thought Scour is 2 cards plus itself, which is 5. So even with the Ancestral, we are going to be able to play turn 2 Tassiger with his hand. After which, we'll play Seer Visions and hopefully, turn 3 Counter Squall. So, reason we go to Steam Vents is in case we need to reevaluate the board, we can Lightning Bolt and not have to cost ourselves too much life against a potential, say, Burn or Zoo or Affinity opponent. Sox fan, I do know that, but he does have a law degree. He has practiced recently, so I can at least trust his sort of intuitive knowledge. Worst comes to worst, we can get. I've got some other lawyer buddies from playing WoW TCG. Playing card games, you meet a lot of really smart folks. Tulio, no, I live in Southern California. Owen, Huey, Shahar, and Jacob Wilson, they're all over there in Las Vegas. What is going on today? Did my opponent keep a 0-lander and scry at the top? No, they scried at the bottom. Alright, I'm sorry you guys aren't getting, like, the greatest games ever. I don't really know what's happening, but I'm gonna go to 14 and play a 4/5 for 1 mana. Yeah, Zach, I really love the game. I mean, there's not a day that goes by that I don't miss it. I mean, I literally work at the company now that used to make the game, and like a bunch of my coworkers and really good friends are other people that work on it or have worked on it, and I mean, we're all certainly sad it's not a thing anymore. Mew Yabby, maybe? My next best guess was the Gristle brand deck that kept, like, a no-land reanimating hand. No, Travis, the 1/1 bracket. I don't know what the hell's going on tonight, guys. I'm sorry. Like, I understand it's Tuesday, and it's, you know, it's 10:24 p.m. Pacific time, so for all y'all on the East Coast, it's 1:24. We have some people turning in over in Europe, and it's, like, early in the morning over there, but this isn't how I you know, start 14-0 at Grand Prix, I promise. I mean, it certainly helps when my opponent's mulligan, but I literally don't know. I just have no idea. I don't understand what's happening. Alright, what kind of range of decks can we put our opponent on in which that they mulligan to 6, keep a no-lander, and then concede to a turn 2 Tassiger and an Ancestor on 3. Dredge could certainly still win from that spot, so I'm not going to give my opponent credit for being Dredge. Tron couldn't. Ad Nauseam couldn't. Is there any fair deck that could ever be? Thinking Boggles? Like... Oh, nope. Sorry, Riley. I didn't mean to knock you over. Come on back. This is why I don't usually put you up on the pillow. Actually, I can't really think of a... Yeah, we need to ban Steam Vents. This is out of control. Yeah, Rudy's just all about boarding these surgicals for just random cards every game. Yep. I mean, Michelle, the Murderers Caught My Own Offensive story. I need to tell that one on stream. I just always feel bad that my round 10 opponent at that Grand Prix might tune in at some point and just, like, never want to play Magic again. That's like my whole fear of continually telling the story, but it is kind of comical. I feel kind of bad, but it is certainly a story I would tell among friends. Alright, so I literally don't know what to do here. Oh, don't worry, Mark, we will. I'll just make sure we 2-3 so I don't get any chests. Yeah, the problem is, what do you want to board out? Do you want to board out the EE? Like, I think what I would want to do is board out EE for, like, a Surgical or a Negate. Yeah, they went to 6 cards and then didn't cast any spells. And then conceded before playing any land. Zippers. It's the internet. I trust that people can learn things. What's up, Kibler? Kibler, you told me that story. I didn't believe you. And then you told it again, and I was like, well, there's no way you would actually lie to me, so... Alright, whatever. We're going to take out our E, and it's probably going to be Boggles, and I'm just going to feel stupid. Alright, oh man, who's in control of MTG bot? You guys are out of control. Hopefully we draw the Surgical. We can just figure out what's going on. They mulligan to 6 again? I mean, this hand's not great, but I'm going to keep it. Okay, they're scrying and they put their card on top, so I think we're going to try to play a game of Magic. First game of Magic in the last 20 minutes. Stomping Ground. Kiki Chord? I don't know what's happening. I'm going to play the Tarn so we have an untapped land. Also, I want to fetch a Steam Vents potentially untapped in case we draw a Lightning Bolt. Plan is going to be curving that into a Tar Pit. As I still don't know what they are, I don't know what to search for Serum Visions yet, so there's just no incentive for me to Serum Visions for anything. So I just have literally no idea what's going on over there. They kept 0 land Scapeshift? What the... Alright, we've reached the point of the stream where I've reached Delirium. Not Delirium in my graveyard, but Delirium Insanity. I don't... Maybe my opponent will Summoning Trap me here and I'll just lose. Summoning Trap? No. Alright, well... Spend that and play a creepy Tar Pit. Start discarding their hand with Kolaghan's Command, I guess. Yeah, I don't know what's going on. Really, Mini? You think they kept, like, I mean, yeah, I guess that's a 0-lander you can keep, like, triple SSG Molten Rain. This nonsense again. Oh boy, friends. Oh boy. Alright, well, if we ever get back to 3 mana, this Kolaghan's Command will be great. Come on, lands. Those aren't lands, those are more 4 mana spells. Come on, lands. Alright, we got a full house. And before Baloth. Zach, I've got no fear. Thanks, Rudy. We figured that out from the awful Molten Rain that just ate our soul. Now they're going to play the... Oh, that's a Baloth. Yeah, that's sure. I don't care about 4/4s. I don't need that Terminator at the bottom of my library either. Oh. Alright. Pass turn. What zero lander could they have kept, though? But is quads better than a super full house? Because that's what we have now, right? Like, I understand in actual poker this is just a full house, but... my hand is really good if I just draw Island Island. Or Counter Squall. So I guess they're Scapeshift and they boarded in Molten Rain. Full mansion. Alright, we're at 7. Not a great spot. We need lands. Kinda need my opponent to do something silly. Thanks, Link. Scooter, this is all really bad on all hand. Oh yeah, get that nonsense out of my house. Take 2. Lose that 2 life. Upstairs. Taste it. What's up? Alright, we're gonna probably discard the hand size a couple times this turn. Maybe we should have targeted our opponent. Made the game even. Oh yeah, give me that lightning bolt. Give me that lightning bolt. Alright, so we're 1 land away from being able to Kolaghan's Command and lightning bolt this silly obstinate Bailoff. However, we're also just, you know, at 7 life, so we're just dead to a Molten Raid, dead to a lightning bolt. Dead to, you know, most of the cards in existence of Magic. So my natural instinct is to fetch another Steam Vents and use the Steam Vents to Serum Visions in case we had a Tassiger. The Tassiger just kind of locks our opponent's Obstinate Bailiff out. Because it's unlikely we need to Lightning Bolt anything here. It's much more likely we need to Bolt plus K Command on the following turn. Their sort of line is like we could fetch basic islands, so we have a 3rd blue and try to terminate. Obviously that leaves us in a much tougher spot to be able to find another red source for the K command bolt play, and we might just have to start treading water here with these cryptic commands. 6 with more looks at it. Gives us also redraws to the other 2 Serum Visions left in the deck. Apple Pies, I think they're Scapeshift. Yeah, Zoe, we need to get some Reliquary Towers. We should go into the trade room and see if we can find any of those. I'm not sure what's right. I think I'm going to get the island, though. I'm glad I kept this opening hand with 3 Kolaghan's commands, and I might not cast any of them this game. That's pretty smart. Alright, we did find a Serum Visions. We did find that island. So we keep the island on top, we can draw into it immediately, and then also suspend an Ancestral, and we can see what's on top. We'll be going to 2, but we'll be guaranteed to make a land drop on the following turn. And we can discard probably a K command hand size. I think it's better than discarding a Cryptic, because the K commands aren't guaranteed to do anything just yet. Alright, so let's bottom this Thought Scour. Could actually bottom, make the really greedy play and try to find a Tassiger still. Ooh, I almost like that better. Yeah, we're going to make that play. I think it's the really greedy play, but I think I need to make a greedy play here to win. Come on, Tassiger. Hit me. Hit me. Opponent, you got to be there so I can get my timing right. Summoning Human Shamans to the top of our library. Yeah, Tuli, I hope we didn't waste like 2 minutes of everyone's live. I mean, we have 138 people, so, you know, wasting 276 minutes of lifespan for society to be pretty rough. Alright, Flooded Strand's basically just another island. Counter Squall doesn't really do anything for us here. Serum Visions doesn't really do much either. I'm just going to bottom both of these in the hopes of drawing another great card. We'll put this in Cesseron, Suspend, and as said earlier, we'll discard this K command. Note, this fetch land puts us to 1. Not a very lively health total, but 1 is the loneliest number, or something like that. Alright, go to 2. Opponent plays Bloodstained Mire. Probably plays a Primeval Titan. Probably not great. There's the Prime Time. Alright, so they are Scapeshift. I have no idea what hand they kept in game 1. No, Cubstan, we're playing 4 Tarns, 4 Deltas, 1 Strand right now. Oh, they already have 6 mountains in play. I'm glad I'm paying attention. Alright, well then I'm just dead. In before Bonfire. I would have preferred to die to Bonfire than to just not realize my opponent literally had 4 basic mountains in play. Fair enough. Could have kept the Terminate on top. The LD deck does play copies of Stormbreath Dragon, so it would have been reasonable to keep it on top. Alright, so now we know what's up. We want the Fulminators, we want the Surgicals, we want the Negate. I usually like Dispels here. We haven't seen Through the Breach out of our opponent, so there's possibly don't want that card. Cards here that are bad. Lightning Bolt is really bad. The EE is bad. Terminates are usually quite poor. The Spell Snares are great. So yeah, CAE 9, yeah, just so everything gets basic island, because very frequently you want to fetch basic island as the 3rd blue source. Brutality doesn't seem awful, but I just don't think that it's like what you want to be doing. I think it's like exactly fine on turn 2. The problem is it's just so dead later in the game. Whereas Dispel, yeah, maybe it only has 6 targets in their entire deck, but they're among the best 6 cards in their deck, where it's Through the Breach and Summoner's Pact. The Summoner's Pact is just an extra copy of our Primeval Titan, which is a card you can't really beat otherwise. It's possible, since we haven't seen any Through the Breaches, I'll only bring in 1 Dispel here. Leaving 1 Terminate, we'll go down 1 Thought Scour. Guess we could just bring in 2 Surgicals, that's actually just way better. How was I bringing in all these cards in? Johnny, as it used to be a sideboard card for burn, I would like to minimize the amount of life that we have to lose. And it's also difficult to spend 2 black mana in a turn against burn, as frequently in that matchup you need to fetch basics to cast your spells on time and not take, you know, between 5 and 8 damage from your lands. You can get away taking 2 to 4 damage from your lands, but not 5 to 8 in that matchup. So having like multiple counter squalls get caught in your hand can be really difficult to cast your spells on time, as that'll lead you to needing to get a bunch of lands to come into play tapped, or you're just taking enough damage that they just need to draw 1 fewer burn spell. At that point, your counter spell is basically traded for nothing. I'm just going to submit like this before we run out of time. But that's basically the logic behind it. The reason for the negate over, say, a second Collective Brutality is I wanted more help in this matchup and against Tron. Link, I think it's not bad. I mean, I don't want to go firing it off on turn 3 to make them discard a card so they can put a 4/4 into play. But I think a lot of the times we just get them at a point where they don't actually have a hand because they need to put all of their hand into play as lands. And then we can just discard them in their draw step pretty frequently and lock them out of the game. Alright, this hand's really great. We're going to turn 1 Ancestral, hold up a Spell Snare, hopefully draw a land on 3 to fulminate them, and be off to the races. So we'll certainly keep this hand. Get a Watery Grave. Yeah, get a Watery Grave. What's up, Mind Twist? Sorry if you guys all know me in real life and I don't know. You're going to have to fill me in on who exactly you are. I'm not worth it on the damnation. Agree, Dino. I think if they get a Primeval Titan into play, you're already losing. Search for tomorrow. That's the best start they can hope for, so it's not great for us. Ooh, nice. Drew another land. That'll help us Fulminator them back. Fortunately, it's going to be a little less effective thanks to their search for tomorrow here, but not the end of the world. Hopefully, I have a 2-mana rock here. Alright, we'll counter that one. I always get scared when I counter Sakura Tribal. I'm just waiting for my opponent to Summoner's Pack me into Oblivion. Thankfully, it never happens, but I'm just always terrified. Just hold my breath for a minute and... Someone gets basics. Okay. Okay, our Ancestral goes down a tick. So we can hold up Snapcaster Snare in case they have more 2-mana plays. The problem with that is that I think that leaves us to a life of just, you know, hoping and praying that we can tap out for Fulminator. Whereas I think since they're going to 3 lands this turn, after we Fulminator them, they have to have double Simian Spirit Guide to go off through the Breach. That I'd rather just pop their Stomping Ground right here and make them search for a basic forest. It's much more important to have good mana here than just preserve my life total. So I'm going to go ahead and get another Watery Grave, as black mana is more important than red mana in this matchup, as we boarded out bolts. So we'll go down to 13 here. Sure, our opponent can blow us up off of red now if they go, you know, another land, Molten Rain, but that's a risk I'm willing to take to have the black mana. I could get a Blood Crypt there, but then if I don't draw another blue source, which is, you know, somewhat less likely, then I don't have Cryptic up. It's also a thing that we're getting 4 cards in 2 turns, so over the next 2 turns we're getting 5 more cards. So if my opponent's going to take a turn off to blow up my lands instead of developing, I'm not that unhappy here. Oh, what's up, Jerry? How's it, man? Plasma on, I mean, it's not over yet. Scapeshift's still a tough matchup, and I mean, they're a deck that just does the same thing every game. I mean, they've got a bunch of lands in their deck, they've got a bunch of ramp spells. It's not impossible for them to still just do their thing and kill us pretty easily. Alright, so they don't have a 2-mana rock, so we're not really in a spot where the Snapcaster Snare is going to do a lot of work. Hopefully this Counter Squall will, though. So we're just going to pass all of our mana up, look to make them discard and get back our Fulminator Mage on a turn. Sure, they can put a copy of Obstinate Bailiff into play if that's the case, but that's going to be the case pretty much every time. You could make an argument that we just need to hold for Counter Squall. We'll have to reevaluate that based on what happens this turn, as it is difficult to sort of deduce what the heck our opponent has in their hand here. Alright, so they are just going for the Bailoff play. So we'll let this one resolve. Hopefully when we discard a card from them here, they don't slam down another. But if they do, it's not the end of the world. We'll find a Tasker here on our 4 cards. So let's return our Fulminator and make them discard. Hopefully not just put a Bailoff into play. If they do, not the end of the world. Discarded Through the Breach. Okay, since they discarded Through the Breach, they either have a second copy or makes me believe they don't have Primeval Titan in their hand. Johnny, I think it's a really strong card. Alright, didn't end up finding any great action there. We do have 5 lands now, so we can Snapcaster, block, plus Kolaghan's Command, shock down the Bailoff to kill it. That being said, we need to really survive through this turn. So what I'm looking at this turn is very likely going to be Cryptic, hopefully countering a spell and bouncing a land. Which is going to leave this Scalding Tarn, fetching an untapped land. We're going to sort of leave this Ancestral Visions dangling likely for the rest of the game, unfortunately. I'm going to fall to 9, then fall to 8. Okay. possible our opponent's Molten Rain plan is only when they're on the play also. Zach, I don't actually think we're as far ahead as you may think. It's possible I wanted to actually... Ah, shit, that sucks. That was probably stupid. Terror of the Twinkie. I'm a game designer, actually. I work at Hex Entertainment. I'm the rules manager there. Trying to figure out if we're supposed to audible our line here and just like thought scour ourselves. Sort of what I want to do. Not untrue, unfortunately. I do bash on myself a fair amount. I'm gonna go ahead and thought scour myself here. My opponent didn't play a spell, they didn't play a land. Sure, I could bounce their land. I'm not really sure what their hand could be. Does give merit to bouncing a land. My opponent might also just like exile a Simian Spirit Guide and go for a Through the Reach here, which I get to counterscroll. I'm gonna be so stoked if that's what their line is. I'm gonna find either Cryptic and milled over a Snapcaster. Not the worst ever. Not the worst ever. Alright, found a Kolaghan's Command. Oh boy, okay. So given that I drew a Kolaghan's Command, what I want to do now is probably hold up Cryptics and my opponent can't go Simian Spirit Guide to primetime me. Yeah, Zach, I took over the rules management just shortly after Shattered Destiny launch. So December of 2017 now? December of 2014, is that right? God, it's been that long. Yeah, December of 2014, because I was hired in July. Yeah, Dino, I wish we had a Rakdos return. I think what I want to do here is just play the Scalding Tarn, flash in Snapcaster Mage, end of turn. Going down to 4, and then just start fighting their hand that way. I'm trying to think how that gets me into trouble, because then on the following turn we can chump block with our Snapcaster Mage. And then Kolaghan's Command to shock to finish off their Baloth. Buy back that same Snapcaster Mage again. We also have their Snapcaster in there to buy back. I think that's what I'm going to do. It could get us into a dicey spot. Like, if our opponent has a bunch of bolts in their deck, it could get us into a dicey spot, but I think it's going to be the best long term. But I could be wrong. Planners to fetch a basic mountain. Rudy, I think this is the best play. That's why I ended up making it. I wouldn't make it if I thought it wasn't the best play. Alright, so fetch down to 4. See if this baits my opponent into going for anything. It shouldn't. Flash and Snappy do. Zafira, the risk with that is that if we go for that and then they have drawn a land, I'm pretty convinced they have a Simian Spirit Guide in their hand. They could then just hardcast a Titan. That's my biggest fear here. Like, I actually think I'm so far ahead, I might just Thought Scour, just to be even safer. Because I don't want to, like, accidentally Kolaghan's Command and just put another Obstinate Bailiff into play for my opponent. Because now if they exile a Simian Spirit Guide and then through the Breach of Primeval Titan, they go down to 1 card in their hand, even after all of that. So I guess this K-Command play is only bad if they have another Obstinate Bailiff. I'm going to scour myself. Alright, screw it. I don't think they have a Bailiff. They didn't have it 2 turns ago. Sure, they could have drawn it. I don't think they have it. Now, if they double bolt me, I'm going to be sad, but whatever. They played in such a way I could lose a double bolt. Alright, discarded Scapeshift. So they are the hybrid theory deck. I think I'm just going to discard Ancestral Visions here to hand size. Yep. Harmonize. So I'm certainly going to Cryptic this. I'm just trying to figure out if I'm also bouncing the Obstinate Bailiff. I think I am. Counter, bounce your Bailiff. Pause, don't worry, I didn't think you were trying to speak over me. Johnny, I don't play as much as I'd like to. A lot of the time when I do play, I'm playing future sets. We have a bunch of own environments that we have in-house, or we're testing the cards for future sets. So I don't play as much, say, on the live client as I'd love to. But, I mean, I certainly play a fair amount of Hex. I'm so impressed with how quickly people get to Cosmic. I've thought about the latter is sort of my system at this point, as I guess I've sort of taken over all the systems designs on that sort of front. I thought about slowing it down a fair amount by either like reducing the amount of stars you get from certain things, or what the heck, my opponent's just not going to replay their Bailiff either. This is intriguing. Okay, I don't want to fetch with this Delta if I don't have to. I'm going to Snapcaster back with Thought Scour and Thought Scour myself. But yeah, I've thought about doing a number of different things. I want to make it feel like more of a success when you get to Cosmic. It doesn't feel similar to like Hearthstone when you get to Legend, where it feels like you've sort of accomplished something. I think it feels a little bit less than that right now, and I'd like to make it more of just like this awesome, super, good feeling. I feel like it's lacking a little bit of that right now. Well, I don't want to crack this Delta either, but I'll be happy to have it in play. Okay, so what's the worst case scenario here? Is my opponent goes for an end of step through the breach and then another through the breach or something awful. It's kind of holding on for dear life at this point. Yeah, green Cuttlefish. That's why I'm just not going to tap any mana. Like, My mana's not moving. The Delta, not going to the graveyard unless I have to do something. Well, I counter this thing. I kind of have to counter that, so I'll counter it. So they're at 10 essentially. Ooh, they're an island. That's great. That's a great draw. Love me some islands. Island allows us double counter squall now with this other Snapcaster, which is currently basically lethal. Of note, we'll be firing off one of these K commands. God, we might be discarding on ourselves because I don't want to make them discard. That's possible all in a Sentinel set. Yeah, go to hell. You can counter this nonsense. Counter this nonsense, I say. Let's just make sure we want to do this. Because if we do this, we're going to K-command... Actually, hold on. Does this get us in dicey spot? This puts him to 8. We flash into their Snapcaster, and then we have access to double Kolaghan's command. So even if they have a bolt, they're dead. Okay, no, this doesn't get us into dicey spot. Sorry, I just had to make sure it didn't get us into a weird spot where we could lose. They have to have like triple Simian Spirit Guide. Triple Simian Spirit Guide, land, through the breach. That's 4 cards, 5 cards, and then we would just K-command them in response to through the breach, so they'd still be dead. Okay, so... Go to the end step, flash in this other Snapcaster mage. They're at 8, we hit them with 3 Snapcasters. They bolt 1, fall to 4, we K-command, shock them, we discard, then we shock them, we discard, or they discard. Doesn't matter at that point, because it doesn't matter the trigger on the obstinate bailiff. Alright, so let's flash this in, and we'll target the counter squall. So I don't want to actually fire off the Thought Scours. I don't want to do anything. Not sure if we played this game well in the mid game, but I think it gave us the best chance to win. I could be wrong. Game froze. I think my opponent conceded. I don't really understand having game 1 there still, guys. So, sorry if I tried to give you a heart attack with my like exceptionally conservative play, but I thought I found a line that wouldn't allow us to lose based on the context of what I thought we'd learn from our opponent's hand. Hossman, you're good. I completely understand your line. I think that's the natural instinct for anyone playing a control deck. Is just like not knowing exactly when you need to turn the corner, and I think we were sort of starting to lose control there. As I mean, you saw our hand was 2 land destruction spells against our opponent's 4 basics and 2 discard spells, and we're just too terrified to discard cards from their hand. Like for the last 3 turns of the game, I talked about shocking them and putting my cards into the graveyard. It wasn't like we were trying to get a bunch of cards into the graveyard so we could exile them all for a Psychotog or something sweet. It was just could not possibly put our opponent on letting them put in an obstinate Baloth. So. That was a sweet game. Yeah, Tulio, you might be right. I don't actually know how they could fit all the Simian Spirit guys and the breaches and the shifts and all that jazz in their deck. Maybe it was a one of Simian or Scapeshift, and that's what they were trying to, you know, trick us with there or what have you. But either way, weird match. All right, 2-1. Hopefully, we can get a 4-1 out of this. End up getting smashed in round 1. Got another great hand. We go to Steam Vents into Ancestral. We got double Serum to follow that up. We got 3 lands. Not much more you can ask for. This is, I mean, I can ask for more, but let's not be greedy. Yeah, Rudy, sometimes I don't know why I think about plays. I should just go with whatever my gut was. Like, at the end of the day, I thought it all out, and then I went with my gut anyways, but I sat there for 5 minutes making sure that I wasn't doing something crazy. Alright, another basic island. Goodness gracious, what's with all the basic islands tonight? I mean, I'm a fan, but it's kind of absurd. Alright, I think given that we drew Steam Vents here, I'm going to fetch a basic Island this Delta, and we're going to Serum Visions it up. Leave up the Steam Vents, as could be another Merfolk player. Could be... I guess we should figure out they top-bottomed. They bottomed. It's possible we'll just double Serum here. Terminate, we don't need this extra land. Do we want the Terminate? So that's sort of the problem of using Serum Visions before you know what you're up against. We have a crap ton of lands. I think in the dark I'm willing to top this Terminate and hope that removal's good here. Given that I'll be able to double spell... Ooh, thanks for reminding me, Magic Online. I actually forgot I had a Vintage Cube up. Given that I don't know my opponent's on, I would be able to double spell on the following turn, but it would be a Serum Visions plus a Terminate. Because I want to gather more information, I'm going to wait on the Serum Visions. Looks like they are Merfolk, so top deck, putting that friendly Terminate of ours on top is going to work out really well for us here. Goal in the Merfolk matchup, just kind of keep the board clear as much as you can. Remember, we've got a draw a million cards here sitting on Suspend, so all we really have to do is get to this, and then we should be able to close out most of the games. So let's Serum Visions again, see what else we find. Find a Thought Scour and a Snapcaster Mage. You don't need this Ancestral. We only really need one to resolve. Snapcaster is just obviously the best card we could ever ask for. So keep that on top. Remember, they have a Rejury here that they revealed to us. Kind of intrigued that Merfolk's picked up so much more in popularity. I wonder if it's just a timing thing where people are back at work and the people that are grinding late night on Tuesdays are people that like playing Merfolk, or if it's just a thing that people think Merfolk's good again. I mean, obviously I'm super stoked they think Merfolk's good again. I think it's a great matchup for Grixis, but I'm trying to figure out what would make a shift in the metagame to make Merfolk just one of the better decks. Not really sure. Here, Snapcaster Bolt is almost always going to be good enough. I can't imagine we ever need to Snapcaster Terminate here. It's more of a mana efficiency thing later on. We could also want to Thought Scour cells on top of Snapcaster bolting. I'm just trying to like get enough blue into play and not have to shock ourselves later on in the game is what I'm trying to balance here. Trying to figure out if we can get this land into play tapped, you know, pseudo for free. Given that they only have one blue on the table, my biggest fear is Master of Waves. As we don't have an answer to the card once it gets in play anymore pre-board, we sort of just have to like race them with Cryptics. Alright, I think I'm going to play the Mountain. Look to Snapcaster Bolt plus Thought Scour if possible. Dokamoy, it's a thing where I just still haven't fixed it. Sears like literally tried to open trade with me. Sure, you've spread my Steam Vents. I would have probably spread my Swamp, but to each their own. Alright. Given that, we'll just set up better options for ourselves in the future. Counter Squall. Found a Tassiger. Okay, sweet. Maybe it would have been smart to Thought Scour myself in response to try to Counter Squall something like that. Didn't think about it at the time. Maybe it was bad. Okay, so we still didn't find Kolaghan's command here. I think I'm just going to play a Delta and ship back, see if we can find more answers, or more cards rather, for Snappy Doo and friends, with Thought Scour and then Serum Visions on the following turn. Alright, this we're certainly going to just tell our opponent to stop. That's just getting kind of rude. So we'll Counter Squall this one. I'm going to end up fetching my Blood Crypt here. This is one of the few matchups where you actually want the Blood Crypt in the deck like super actively. So if you're thinking about playing this deck at San Antonio or at the Star City Games team event, if one of your teammates needs a Blood Crypt, you can let them know you don't absolutely need it. It's certainly nice to have, but it's not like an essential piece to the deck. You don't absolutely have to have it. Alright, we still haven't found a Kolaghan's command. Not great. Maybe we are going to need this other Ancestral and just go deep. Fetch Fetch this turn as a Watery Grave is more than likely what we want. Yeah, let's get that Watery Grave. So I'm going to go tapped Watery Grave. And then I'm going to... Oh, maybe I need an untapped. Shoot. I didn't realize I only had 2 blue. I guess that's actually fine. I can just get a tapped Watery Grave and still hold off one more turn on Serum. Yeah, it's fine. Alright, I look like kind of a doofus for doing this, but looking like a doofus is perfectly fine. Draw some more cards on Suspend. For some reason I thought I had 3 blue. Sorry about that, guys. So another Adept Revealing Master of the Pearl Trident. Where did my opponent's Reveal Zone go? Why did I put in my Reveal Zone? Who knows what's happening over there. Alright, so they still can't cast that thing this turn. They could cast their Silver Gull Adept if they peel on their island here. Alright, I'm just going to bolt this silly thing out of the way. Take that down to 3. Delta. Get another basic island. We have black, 2 red, we have 3rd red in hand. Yeah, we can just get another basic island with this. Trying to minimally increase the action that our fetches are going to find. We just want to find a Kolaghan's Command. Another Snapcaster Mage is certainly good enough to keep on top, so I'll keep it. At this point, we're probably just going to start flashing in the stupid Snapcaster and trying to punch our opponent in the face a little bit, but fortunately they're going to have a Master of Waves now, because we finally didn't make a move. Alright, we don't have a Cryptic, so this is going to get real dicey real fast. Probably going to end up Snapcaster Thought Scouring. Get that Snapcaster off top or library. We have 3 in this Ancestral. Tokens at 2-1. Okay, so this stupid thing happens, unfortunately. Get a million amigos. Kill off a token. So these are 3/3s right now. Can mill them, get our other Snapcaster. Yeah, I think that's what I'm gonna do. Thought Scour, mill you. Hopefully don't mill land. Okay. Holding on to this Snapcaster for a short bit here. Alright, there we go. That's a good one. So that's going to help us start digging out of the situation. We have 2, 4, 6, 7 lands in play. So this leaves us enough open to still terminate, even if we play our land tapped. So let's get rid of the other Tasigur. Let's get rid of the Ancestral. Get rid of the Counter Squall. And get rid of the Thought Scour. And get rid of the Spell Snare, I think. They have 1 Lord in hand that we know about. We can just kill that Lord, though. Yeah, I'd rather not have him give me back a counterspell if they draw Cavern of Souls. This is one of the spots where we're going to start activating Tasker fairly aggressively, and we're just going to start firing off removal cells. What's going to seem pseudo-random, but we're just going to be literally just killing all of our opponent's permanents is the goal. Basically, we need to keep their Master of Waves from attacking us, too. Probably Rudy. Friends don't let friends play Broad Crypt. Sure, you can have an Aether Vial, friend. Not too concerned about you putting creatures into play at instant speed. Vapor Snag your Tassagoyf. Sweet, I just get to remove more cards from my graveyard? That's super lucky. Alright, well, we'll activate it. Okay, milled over a Snapcaster Mage and a Tarn. I expect my opponent to give me a Serum Visions here. I don't expect them to give me a Lightning Bolt, as it looks like they're going to try to attack here with a Mutavault for 3. Alright, Tasker comes back to our hand. We fall to 13. Here comes Mutavault. Here comes Mutavault. Down Mutavault lane. I expect to fall to 11 here. I'm going to block my Snapcaster on an Elemental, re-put my Tasker into play, and I'm going to terminate this on Mutavault. I don't think there's anything out of the ordinary here. We'll have 6. Block that, go to 11. Did I not play a land last turn? Maybe I didn't. Might not have. Whoops. Alright, whatever. Whatever. Get the other island out of our deck. Go to 10. Opponent's down to 3 lands. Yeah, it actually sounds pretty good. I don't know my exile pile on it, but I don't see any lands in that exile pile. Oops, wrong card. Visions. EE, alright. EE we can't get to 4, but does help. Don't think we need that Thought Scour. We'll take the EE though. Could end up putting it on 2 and blow up a bunch of nonsense. Unfortunately, draw another land. Probably not going to be activating Tasker this turn, but get rid of all these Serum Visions, get rid of a Lightning Bolt, and get rid of the land. I think I just didn't play a land last turn. Don't know how I managed to do that, but that's really bad. Should always play a land. Mode, I actually didn't know Negate was a card when I top-8'd Los Angeles, or not Negate. I didn't know Counterskull was a Magic card when I top-8'd Los Angeles. The reason why you're hitting my Blood Crypt, so this is gonna have to get one of my 2 remaining black sources, draws them a card. That's fine. But I like it because it helps turn the corner. The 2 points of life loss is really nice, because this deck is really freaking bad at killing people, like exceptionally poor. Like, we just don't kill people. We just kind of do nothing a lot of the game, and it's kind of depressing how inefficient you are at killing people. Because I have an excellent card on top of my library, I'm not going to activate Tasker here. I'm just kind of like waiting to find Cryptics so I can just kill my opponent. Just can't find Cryptics. Okay, we got our basic swamp into play, so we have 1 Watergrave left in our library's black sources, so we're going to want to freeing these. I think I'm just going to suspend the CE on 2 on the next turn. So I'm going to look to fetch that Watergrave. I don't want to let them know that I have this just yet, I think. Might have to still. Yeah, I think I still have to. Crap. Should probably not tap my untapped black source. I guess I only have 1 red source on tap too. Alright, never mind. Apparently I don't like tapping lands. Or playing lands, for that matter. Get that EE out there. This is going to fetch our other Watergrave. We're going to free up our lands here. This is also going to prevent our opponent from really doing anything this turn. As we know, they have a Master of the Pearl Trident in their hand, as you can see down here in the reeled area. And this Aether Vial is clicking up to 2. So we don't even have to crack it. We can kind of just sit here and wait. But the plan is we're going to try to build a big enough board here once we find one of our 7 commands. Like, we only have 20 cards remaining in our library. Yeah, Citrus, I'm planning on winning that Grand Prix. You, Umbreon, I believe so. I mean, I'm not certain. Obviously, if I knew, we would have figured it out by now, but I hope it is. Obviously, I'm going to let my opponent attack here if they determine attacking is correct. I will blow up my E here. And I'm doing it now as I'm perfectly fine with getting my EE back. I assume my opponent's going to give me Ancestral Visions when I activate this Tasker, but try to pick up my pace of play here. Still haven't found one. We have 17 cards remaining in our library. What's going on? Alright, Steam Vents is out of searchable lands, if I recall correctly. Yep. Okay, there's a creepy tar pit at least, so we have a way to win now. We have a way to win. I think I'll still suspend that. That one's on 2. Opponent has a few cards in their hand. Just going to pass back again. Sure, you can put in a friend. She got a friend in me. Yep. That is fine. I'm fine with this because our opponent's got a Violent 2 and a Violent 1 and I have 2 Snapcasters. It's really hard for them to, like, grow this Master out of Snapcaster targeted with Bolt and Snapcaster Terminate, whichever one they put into play. And I'm obviously going to fight over the Island Walk friends before I fight over other nonsense. Vapor Snag your guy. That's not great. That could do some damage. Could have counter-squalled that, but I think I'm just going to fight over by getting double Snapcaster into play. I'm going to hope my opponent attacks here with Master of Ways, because I think it gives me the best chance to win. Yep, animate the Mutavault, perfectly fine. Bring it. Alright, sweet. They are attacking the Master of Ways, so that's good for us. Flash and Snappy Doo. This one's going to get a Lightning Bolt. We're going to bolt the Master. Not Master of Waves, Master of Pearl Trident, sorry. Thankfully, since we have 5 lands on tap, we can even play around a Curse Catcher coming down. Okay, so they're vialing it for 2. Perfectly fine. Short. This bolt kills that. Flash another Snappy Doo. This one gets a Terminate. Terminate this one. Red and black. And then my blocks are going to be on Mutavault and Master of Waves. Holy shnikes! Okay, I did not expect them to play Spell Pierce main deck. Should have got another Bolt then. Alright, well I punted. Get the punts out. I'm real stupid. Not play around Spell Pierce. Alright, well now we could just easily die. Hopefully someone said to play around Spell Pierce in chat. Oh, Cryptic, you're right on schedule. Okay, so we get to put our Steam Vents into play tap so we're not dead. We get out Tassagoyf. I'm really bad at Magic. It makes Magic way harder. Alright, I have 1 card in their hand. So if I attack here with Snapcaster Mage, I'm just going to assume my opponent doesn't block, goes to 16. I Cryptic tap their team, pick up Snapcaster Mage. Attack them for 7, Snapcaster, I can't do that because of the Mutavault. Okay, so I just have to pass actually. It's just passing here will hopefully force my opponent to animate the Mutavault. Could have taken a line there and actually attacked the target. That was probably correct to do that, rather than activate this Tasker another time. Okay, ticked up to 3 and ticked up to 2. Sure, you can vial another Lord, it's fine. Nope, Silver Guild out, sure. Yeah, should have certainly attacked there to get him 3 points. Hopefully that won't be relevant, but it's going to be close. If my opponent just screws up and animates the Mutavault here, it might be okay. Current plan here is to tap their team, bounce their Mutavault. Alright, return target permanent to his hand, tap all creatures your opponent controls. Choose target permanent, I choose Mutavault. Alright, they have 6 for some reason. So hopefully we get some justice here when we get there. And by justice I mean, hopefully we lose. Because I didn't play around Spell Pierce. So I forgot Spell Pierce could be a card they main deck. Alright, so Kolaghan's command should likely get us there. There we go. Okay, so we Kolaghan's Command. We have 3, 6, 9, 10 mana Kolaghan's Command. 7. Wait, did I miscount my lands? 5, 6, 9, 11. K Command down to 8. Snapcaster Cryptic down to 2. Okay, so we can hit them for 6. Then we can... Okay, so let's attack. Oops, I don't want to make them discard. I don't want to shock them. Okay. So they don't move this to 4, I think I'm okay. Okay, we're gonna return target creature, turn Snapcaster Mage, deal 2 to my opponent's face. We're going to Snapcaster. Yep. I'm going to tap their team and draw one more time, I think. I could go for the win here by bouncing their Mutavault, but I think it's too likely they have something. So I just don't think it's very likely to work. And I have 3 more Cryptics and 2 more Kolaghan's Commands in my deck that I think I can just win by playing the game out. Okay, they're just playing a Master, it's fine. Oh shit, I should have looked and see if I had another Spell Snare left. Okay, I'm gonna mill them, I think. So all my Snapcasters are gone, right? No, I should mill myself. So if I hit one of the K commands, I can buy back if I also mill over a Cryptic. Okay, found one of the other Cryptics. That's on 1. Okay, that's also a dead draw. So if I suicide a Snapcaster here, if I end up suiciding 2 Snapcasters here, and only getting 4, I then tap their team, bounce the Mutavault. I think I just want to... I think I want to attack with all. What if I attack with the Tar Pit also? Because then I can bounce a Snapcaster Mage after they block, and then bolt them still. That's 11 lands, that's 7, 8, Snap Bolt. They'd have to have nothing as their last card. Shit, I just need to make a play, I'm sorry guys. Alright, screw it. This is the line I came up last turn, I'm just going to do this. If it's wrong, I don't think it's wrong by that much. So I have so many Kolaghan's Commands to draw too. Sure. Okay, now if I tap their team, pick up a Snapcaster, they don't die. So this is fine. And animate the Mutavault. Oh, I didn't see that. I'm really stupid. Okay, whatever. I'm really dumb. I'm really bad. Well, hopefully everybody came for all the bad plays and not understanding what my opponent's deck does, because that's what we're doing. Okay, so all this nonsense dies because I'm really stupid. Don't need any of that nonsense. Just need to play another Tassiger. Click cards at random. Tap my opponent's team, bounce their Mutavault, draw 3 more cards, attack for 7, get back Snapcaster Mage and bolt them. It should be dead. So they have to draw something off this Aether Vial. Tap all creatures. Choose to bounce the Mutavault. I promise I know I have a tar pit here, I just don't know how to use it. And I won't activate Tasker here because it'll end up decking me. Oh shit, I don't know if mana did all that, do I? Sorry, I've stopped paying attention to the chat at this point. I'm just, like, playing so bad, I'm just trying to end the game now. I should have won this game like 8 minutes ago, but I'm so stupid. Return Snapcaster, shock my opponent. Target Cryptic, tap their team, bounce the Mutavault. Turn target opponent. Alright, this time we draw it. This time we can animate the stupid tar pit. This time we can attack all our stupid creatures. I think. I guess we can wait one more turn because we're still fine, right? Yeah. So we have one card left in our library. Get this thing in. They have a Harbinger? Jesus fucking Christ. Rude. Why you gotta be so dumb? I hope people in the chat are just laughing at how stupid I am. Alright, tap, bounce. So that'd make the stream all the better if everyone's just laughing at this point. This game has been among the worst I've ever played. Okay. Return target creature, shock my opponent. Get back Snapcaster, shock you. Worst comes to worst here, we can Snapcaster Bolt twice, because I think I have another K command. No, Sulphur Falls is my last card. I think I have another K command. It's my graveyard. Okay, so assuming this hit gets in with a stupid tar pit, we win, but not optimistic. We could... No, we can't. Alright, screw it. We're just doing this. I've wasted too much time thinking this game. I probably have a way to win on the board, and I can't figure it out because I'm too stupid. Hopefully my opponent during their Harbinger and I deck out. Mind Twist, I know you have. Every game of my life. Alright, we did it. Took me 18 minutes and 50 seconds, but we managed to do it. I'm sorry, everybody. Chat can entertain themselves for a minute. Isn't Scour them better to play around Pierce? Yeah, Cryptic Command is not a fair Magic card. Either is my level of bad. Yeah, having one Murderous Cut is why I used to have one Dismember. Yeah, that was my idea that I had there. Betancourt, but the problem I had with that is if my opponent goes flashing a 2-mana guy to block, I can let them block, but then if they go to animate their land, and then I go snap Cryptic, and then they have a 3-mana guy to block, then I lose, because they can block the Tasker and they go to 1, because I managed to screw up so many combats previously to that. So the counter magic here, Snare and Counter Squall is bad, as they lean pretty heavily on Aether Vial. I like bringing in the second copy of Explosives, as they're all good 2-mana plays. And then the last card I like to cut is either a Cryptic or a Thought Scour. I like cutting Cryptic on the draw and Thought Scour on the play, usually. Alright, so we're going to try to play at hyperspace speed here. So, strap in. Yeah, once you get to the point where you're winning, you can do whatever you want, and you'll win the game. It's just a matter of needing to not be as stupid as possible to get there. So this hand's a keep. Fortunately, I don't have a turn 2 play. They have a Vial. Thankfully, we have a command. Play our Tar. We're going to end up fetching Steam Vents. And then we're going to hopefully find ourselves a Tasker for turn 2. I am going to just bolt this. If my opponent has a Curse Catcher and they want to Curse Catch my thing, that's fine. Alright, didn't end up finding it just yet. Let's mill ourselves right now. Found an Anger for our graveyard. Should have played the Flooded Strength, so I'm going to fetch a tap land. No biggie. No biggie. Gaia, or Kira rather. Sure. Gonna want to find our Static Caster pretty fast here. We're gonna end up shattering this silly Vial, making them discard a card. Let's see if they want to try to flash in a guy first. Doing it on their upkeep is maybe not the best, but alright, they didn't try to do anything yet, so we're not going to do it on their upkeep. Kira's annoying, but certainly beatable. We have Angers and Damnations. Currently we're on 4 lands. Just one more and we can Snapcaster back the Anger. Yep, that's a Lord, that's fine. This puts our opponent down to 1 card in their hand. They discarded a Unify Will, so hopefully we can get them dead. Down to 12. Opponent's holding up mana. It's pretty clear our opponent has something here, which isn't great. I think given it's pretty clear my opponent has a Unified Will, I might just go for a Snapcaster block here to get them to block the Snapcaster. I'm just going to try to find another one of my outs that just kills them. Hopefully I don't draw a 4th land. And when this gets Unified Willed, alright, they're onto us. They're onto us, friends. They're onto us. Let's get ourselves... Ooh, Staticaster, there you are. That was a lot of good work here. Staticaster will get countered by the Unified Will, unfortunately, but that'll allow us to jam Snapcaster plus Anger to get rid of Kira. If they're just going to tap out, we'll just do whatever we damn well please then. That can resolve. They showed us something. They showed us a Harbinger. If they didn't find a land, then I'm just going to go for the Anger play almost certainly. Now this play I can actually just shut down Staticaster and terminate. This is fine. Flash you in, pretty lady. Target this thing. Alright, you can Spell Pierce this if you want, opponent. Alright, they don't Spell Pierce, that's great. Kolaghan's Command, you discard, shock your Lord. please. I need you to put a card in the discard pile. Kill your guy. Play a land tapped. Ship turn back. There's no way I'm flashing in Snapcaster here, so I'm just going to have 6. My opponent wants to hit me in the Mutavault. I don't care. That's not the game that I'm playing. Relic. Rude. Later graveyard. Got all the cards in my hand that I need, though. I got a Cryptic Command and a Snapcaster Mage. I got 2 Snapcaster Mages. Obviously in a bit more of a dicey spot now that the Relic exiled a bunch of our removal spells. 2 of our Kolaghan's commands are gone. Counter target spell, and we'll draw a card. Yeah, I think it's fine. Sure, we can't block this Mutavault. That's not the end of the world. Our opponent actually can't Unified Will. I guess they could cast Unified Will, I think, based on the templating of the card, but it wouldn't counter our spell. It's also, like, kind of dicey here if they do it, but it's fine. Those islands were made for walking. The Lightning Bolt, right on schedule. Alright, let's land into play, F6 again. 3.5 minutes on the clock, just enough time to win the match. Just have to make sure we win this game pretty handily. Curse Catcher, that's fine, I believe. Yep. So we can kill this Master. Then block this Mutavault. Alright, peg that guy, block the Mutavault, shoot the Curse Catcher. Dispel. Okay. Did you say Snapcaster Mage? Is that what you said upon it? Go back. Bolt. Bolt the Lord. Here I'll trade the Snapcaster. Shoot the Curse Catcher. Fetch a land. The other Watergrave, F6. No. I said F6. Leave me alone. Alright, they've got 1 card in their hand. We just need to find a tasker and the game will end. We're going to Cryptic counter their next spell and bounce our Snapcaster Mage back to our hand almost assuredly. Opponent doesn't have that many spells left in their deck, though, that matter. Alright, we're going to start getting Snapcaster beatdowns going here in a second. Get your Snap Bolt snaps out in the chat. As we're going to actually go for the Bolt Snap Bolt, though. We could hold on to that, kill a bunch of shit, but I think we'd rather kill our opponent with our clock situation here. Serum Visions. Damnation is not a card we need anymore. We'll take the other Serum Visions. I guess we can just hold up for another turn. Pretty much have this game locked up at this point, though. I think I topped the Serum Visions. I don't know what I topped there, honestly. So our opponent waited a turn. Oh, hard casting Silver Guild up. That's fine, you can have that card. We'll kill it. Wait, come back. I wasn't done killing all your permanents. Your lands were next. Come back. Alright, whatever. Whatever. Played horribly. I think we played that game fine, though. But other than, obviously, you're not supposed to do the weird Bolt play that I made. Cast Snapcaster Mage and Holy Priority. Cast Bolt. You could do that. Alright. Locked up a trophy. Let me try to catch up with chat. I'm sorry, guys. I feel really bad when I, like, stop looking at chat. I hate those streamers that do that, so if you want to hate me for doing stuff like that, I understand. Alright, let's catch up with the point where they discarded Unify Will, so they must have another. Yeah, that's what I thought also, Ben. Eventually we got to the point where Unified Will wouldn't matter because they decided that they needed to put more pressure onto the board when they had Akira, which I think is incorrect. I don't want them to draw to a land. I'll be honest, Ben, I don't remember. Was that the turn where they attacked all other stuff? I bolted, they dispelled, and I Snapcaster bolted, and then I blocked the Snapcaster in the Mutavault and killed the remaining creature? If so, then yeah, you're correct. I didn't want them to draw a land. I should have gone for right there. Because there was, like, yeah, I want the Mutavault dead, but there's no reason to risk them drawing a land when we're pretty sure they had a counterspell in their hand. Of course, their counterspell is dispel, so it didn't end up mattering, but yeah, we thought at the time it was very likely they had another Unified Will. Ben, I think Plasmonot was trolling you. You're fine. But no, I think your line was better than mine, Ben. I finally got to the point where you can know how wrong I was, and yes, I know how wrong I was. It was not correct to when we thought at the point in time the best counterspell they could have was Unified Will, when instead they kept the ability to play a 2-mana spell and a 1-mana spell. But they didn't have 3 blue sources, so their keeping of that land didn't make any sense. The majority of their plays are double blue, so I think it's just better for them to keep their Unified Will there, because the Unified Will is more often a better counterspell. They just don't need to commit more to the board. And use Deceiver to untap Staticaster, kill more Merfolk Lords. Yeah, that's a great day. Yeah, Ben, thankfully the game was over. Yeah, clock's still ticking. I was probably even going to wait another turn. I was just going to Serum Visions again. Worst Multi-Drifter ever. Don't forget my cube. I don't know, we've got like 8 hours or something silly left for the cube. I mean, I have to go to work tomorrow, but whatever. Rudy, we can get lands later. We got another match to win. Heck, if you guys want to hang out, maybe I'll finish that stupid cube. I think it was a really bad blue-black control deck I have. Friend Rudy for precedence. I don't think Rudy's old enough, but the turn they tapped 2 lands to play Silvergill untapped. We thought they had Unified Will. Maybe I'm forgetting the turn, Ben. What was that? What was their board state? Did they not? Was this pre or post the? This had to be post Kira, right? Hey, Audacious, I think if you want to play a more tap-out style of Grixis, I absolutely think Chandra's playable. She's not usually the go-to that people sort of list. Most people start listing, like, Glenelendra Archmage or Kalitas or things of that nature first, but I think Torch of Defiance is great. I would highly recommend if you're going to put Torch of Defiance in your deck, though, don't do it with Cryptic Commands. Or any counter spells for that nature. Because you really don't want to flip spells over that you can't cast. You really want to just put, like, cards that you can just keep churning through that gain you advantage. So you could put Cryptic still in your deck. You're just going to get overloaded on 4-mana spells, so that's why I don't really recommend Cryptic. But I think you don't want the counter spells. I think Spell Snare is a really fantastic card, but you might not be able to get away with it. I'd look more towards putting in, like, Inquisitions of Kozilek, Thoughtseize, Young Pyromancer, more type of cards that play to the board. No, Ben, I mean, our win conditions are like Mr. Steelio Girl, Shriekmaw. Board save is Kira, Lord of Atlantis, Island Mutavault that casts Silvergill. And that was when I had the Bolt and Snapcaster in my hand? Oh, Jesus, it was that turn. Holy crap, that play is horrendous. You're so right, I'm sorry. That play is really, really bad. Drybomir, I would usually sell them, but since I'm playing on stream, I moreover let the chat just choose what they want to do with them. If the chat says we crack them, we crack them. If the chat says we sell them, we sell them. Alright, this hand's another great hand. We've got a turn 1 Ancestral into turn 2 Bolt with a tap land, then we got a Kolokan's Command on 3, or another tap land to preserve our life total. Windswept Heath Stomping Grounds. This is more than likely burn. Search for more. Okay. More Scapeshift. Our hand's really bad against Scapeshift. Like, truly horrendous. I wouldn't expect to win this game. In the meantime, while I'm not expecting to win, I'm probably going to fetch an island. Reason why I'm fetching island here is I don't really care if they play a 2-mana creature and start attacking me with it. I just want to thin my deck as much as possible and upgrade my draws. I already have 4 Lancer when I get to a Cryptic Command, and Island still allows me to play the best card I can draw in my deck on a Counter Squall. So, even when my opponent goes to 4 lands here on turn 2, I could still draw the best card in my deck and still be able to play it. Sadly, we're not very lucky. So we're going to play Polluted Delta here, try to represent, but I mean, if our opponent has the turn 3 through the breach, they're just going to through the breach and try to kill us. You can certainly make an argument of you're supposed to steam vents, because if they have the whole nut draw, at least you could terminate the copy of Primeval Titan and they won't get up to 8 lands, but if I had a counter squall there, I would probably counter the Search for Morale. Thankfully, our opponent didn't sack Tribe Elder. They really value us getting to 18, despite us putting a fetch land into play, I guess. I don't really know. Instead of Search for Morale to cast, that's fine. I think they should get a Forest on this one. Okay, and a tap land. So, they had the ability to get to 5 mana that turn. Chose not to, so they have 6 mana guaranteed next turn. I'm going to get my Blood Crypt here. And then I'm going to put the Steam Vents into play untapped, almost regardless of what I draw. The intention of double bolting a Primeval Titan and crying. In that order. Cryptic Command's good. Might not be enough. Alright, so we're at not a lot of life points. Opponent is fetching up here. Use Search Friend, use your Sakura Tribe Elder. Oh, that's not a good sign for us. Very bad sign. It means they have land and prime time already in their hand. So this can get 2 Valak cuts. The Tribe Elder can deal us 6. That's what you call a bad day. Not good. Interacting with lands is hard. Interacting with lands is hard. Hard. So now if we shock ourselves, told up Cryptic, we're just dead to a mountain. So I think we actually might end up better here if we Kolaghan's Command to preserve a life to go to 9. So we still have the ability to play 1 more fetch land or 1 more land untapped. Yeah, and then we can just double bolt the prime time in the next turn. So let's do that. Should have done this in response, I guess. This is really silly. Yeah, I screwed this up. Yeah, that's bad. That's bad. That's really bad. Just took 6 damage for no reason. I'm stupid. Should have figured out it was going to happen. Ooh, alright. Calm down. Settle up. Not a good play there. Not a good play there. Hopefully we're just dead and doesn't matter, but then again I also hope that we just get really lucky and get there, because we have an Ancestral coming off suspend. I mean, we're not stone dead, but losing a bunch of life there for no reason is really bad. Yeah, Ben, I just saw your message. I'm not pleased with myself. Probably wasn't going to win with these draw steps either, but still not pleased with myself. Okay, we have 3 blue, we can get up to 4 blue with an island. Can't even, like, Cryptic lock our opponent out of this. Best play we realistically have is, like, fetching another tap land, Snapcaster bolting them. Then we're still only on a 3-turn clock, like we just need them to break 3 turns in a row. Alright, I'm just going to play this Tarnish up the turn, though. Yeah, I'm just going to play a Tarnish up the turn. Alright, well, we're dead. Not pleased with my line of play there. I ended up making like the right sequence of plays and then just not figuring out the prime time actually did, because my opponent didn't sack the Sakura Trial because they didn't need to. So, error on their part, and then I made an error back, so my bad there, guys. We'll see how common we're holding on to. Yeah, I mean, I would find some foil ones if you're really all in on What's the name of the card? I'm calling it Fatal Push? I thought it had a different name. I thought it was Fatal Plunge. Maybe it's Fatal Push. Okay. I mean, I'd grab a plate set of foil ones, because I think foils retain value really, really well with the Commander crowd and people with sweet cubes. And, I mean, I love playing against people in modern tournaments that have full foiled out decks. I mean, their decks are freaking beautiful. Props to those people that put in the time and money to get that crap. I don't have the patience. But, yeah. So, I mean, if you can find one of those people to pawn off your foils that you're going to hopefully buy for, like, 10 when the set comes out, and then try to move them for 30 later on. Yeah, Jay. Gosh, I really want to know how to pronounce your name. Jay Champed? Jay Champed? Ugh, gosh. I need a pronunciation guide where I click on the name and it reads it off to me in that annoying Twitch voice that all the League streamers have. Sounds like the girl when you played on Ventrilo was just like, push to talk. What's up, Keith? How goes? Long time no see, man. I think the artwork looks sweet. But then again, I don't pay much attention to artwork, so there's probably some like really silly small thing that people are complaining about. I'm just missing it. Alright, we need to cut 2 cards here. I don't know why we have 2 extra cards than we normally do. Normally I only bring in 2 surgicals, so that's, I think, one of the things. But we're over a card because of the silly negate. I said I'm going down to Thought Scour. There we go, figured it out. I leave in 1 terminate, just catch all. Oops, we screwed up. Abort mission, save the day. Yeah, J-Dub, your pronunciation's like the easiest thing ever. Sorry, I got really close to my mic there, hoping it too loud. Yeah, I don't think it's a $4 uncommon for a non-foil at all. Alright, we got a surgical serum and a cake, man. This hand's pretty weak. It's like really great if you're on a full Mater Mage. Like, we're really relying on the Serum Vision's finding us action. I think I'm gonna mulligan this hand. Alright, this hand, however, is fine. Sure, we only have 1 land, but we can actually cast all the spells in our hand. I do not want to draw a Tasigur, and I don't know if I want to mill myself on upkeep. I'd rather just have another random look at a land. Sure, it's way worse if the second card we would have drawn is a fetch land of sorts, but... this hand has the ability to just, Yahtzee our opponent. Opponent did top their card, by the way. We could have Thought Scoured them, but I'd rather get Ancestral going. They played turn 1 Mountain. Interesting. Alright, did unfortunately draw that Delta, so we wish we would have topped our Tasigur if we were... Obviously, if we were going to, like, just Thought Scour them for some silly reason. But that would not have been the case if we had kept the Tasigur there. I think we're just going to get a Water Grave untapped, even. Reason why I'm doing this before Thought Scouring myself and getting more information about the draws is I don't want to like mill over 2 blue-black lands here. We can go to Thought Scouring our opponent later. Okay, so we hit another Water Grave. So we're stuck on red now. Found a Fulminator. I Thought Scour my opponent and try to give him. Nah, I'd rather Thought Scour myself still. Okay. You can make an argument to not Thought Scour yourself there and just wait till the opponent's end step, but it's not like my opponent's not going to run a 2-mana ramp spell if they find a 2-mana ramp spell. That's just not what Scapeshift's about. The reason why we're not Thought Scouring him is that I just want to set up my own game plan. I think I can still just like get them with the surgicals later. Like I have an Ancestral coming off suspend. I just want to make land drops. That's at least the logic, Ben. You can argue that it's wrong, but... hopefully my opponent doesn't go land. Alright, get this nonsense out of here. Get out of my house. Alright, ooh, and they're stuck on lands. That's good. Alright. Should need this Ancestral Resolve and we need to turn the corner. Probably the best card we could ask to draw. Above average. Above average. Good Surgical 2-mana ramp spell, but I think that's just really silly. I think it's just asking to get ourselves into trouble. Our opponent's stuck on lands. They can ramp this turn, we can draw a bunch of cards, then we'll hold up Cryptic and we'll counter one of their important spells and then Surgical all the copies. Search Monroe's fine. It doesn't hurt us from making land drops, it just makes other cards in our deck worse, right? Like it makes our Kolaghan's commands worse, our Snapcasters worse. Makes our Taskers worse. Like sure we bottomed one of them, but we immediately drew a fetch land, so we've reshuffled it in. Note, our opponent got another mountain there, so I think our opponent is through the breach. We have a lot of Cryptic commands in our hand. It's probably a good card to have a lot of. So there's actually a cool spot here where we can go crack the Polluted Delta in their end step and hope they go for Through the Breach, and because we have a spell we get to counter it and then Surgical all the Through the Breaches. So hopefully they have a Simian Spirit Guide and they go for that, because I'm going to try to get them. It's sort of like a Bush League tactic where it's just like, hey, I'm making a fundamental error by not cracking my fetch land, I'm going to try to get you. But I think it's sort of my best play. Counter the ramp spell. Alright, fine, we'll counter the ramp spell. Obviously, they had a million Simian Spirit Guides. They could have just a million Simian Spirit Guides just a minute ago. So, countering this is certainly gonna just net profit us, as this is basically counter target land draw card. We just need to find a way to start killing them. And it gets another nice card to have. Again, don't really see a reason to Surgical any of the ramp spells. Kolaghan's command. We'd have to discard to hand size. Not a great spot to be in. I don't like discarding to hand size, so it might unfortunately be time to Surgical a ramp spell. Oops. Alright. I'll rescue you in a second, Riley. I'm sorry. I'm not used to being on this chair where I reach too far back and you up on that many pillows. Poor Rhino down. I just terminated the Siege Rhino, guys. I'm sorry. Alright, well, whatever. We're gonna, let's see, which is the best of their ramp spells? Probably Sakura Tribalder, because it also attacks. I don't want to discard to hand size, because all my cards are actively so good that I'm gonna pay 2 life here to Surgical the Sakura Tribalders. I think his play looks pretty stupid, but no, I don't want to discard a spell. Okay, they end up having another Explorer in their hand. Alright, so let's take a screenshot here of this nonsense. Alright, you guys win. You win again. You're all right. You're all way smarter than me. Explorer's not in the Through the Breach list. Why is my snipping tool like lagging when I click it these days? I don't know why it does this. What the hell? Snipping tool, please. It's not this hard. Oh my lord. Snipping tool too hard for streamers. This is ridiculous. Alright, where's my print screen button? Alright, whatever, that worked too. Alright. Explorer, Calling Heart, Obstinate Bailiff, Primetime, Bolt. Full set of Primetimes, full set of Scapeshifts, 2 Summoners packs, full set of Explorers, only 2 Farseeks, 3 Calling Heart Expeditions, which are basically dead this game, to make sure to not go to 3, not go to 6 potentially if we can help it, and they have a full set of Valakuts. Okay, so realistically, if we get to Surgical as Primetime and Surgical as Valakut, we can't lose. There's one Gaia's Revenge. Can't be countered. Okay, so we'd have to double block it. That's probably fine. Okie dokie. Welcome to Modern, where your opponents put Gaia's Revenge in their deck. Yeah, we'll probably get to the point by the time that's going on. We'll just call a Gon's command and discard it from their hand. Colony Heart Expedition can certainly resolve. They don't really have any lands. We can just counter their lands. Obviously can't counter that literal land, but worst comes to worst, we just bounce this to their hand. Still have a Snapcaster rebuy, they had an Obstinate Bailoff. So there's no real reason to discard from their hand. Yeah, we'll just untap here. We could Surgical their Explorers, but just wait a turn, hopefully draw a land here. Draw a Counter Scroll, and I wish I'd negated this. So you guys want to just discard Dispel to hand size again? I think that's fine. We can just discard Dispel to hand size now. I hate discarding to hand size. It feels so bad. Oops, trying to move us to their monitor. Sorry, guys. Alright, Explore. We can go ahead and Counter Squall this. Oops. Corey even asked what to bring in, and we made a great offer. Surgical, we need to see their deck list. We have their deck list. Alright, there we go. So we play this, though, we can't actually hold up to counter stupid prime time. So unfortunately I'm going to hold on another turn. Just want to find one more land deck. Preferably an untapped variety. Second Colony Heart. Alright, would you crazy hooligans counter this? I just want to see what you people would do. You cannot respond to land drops without a CIP effect. Counter target land drop, good gosh. Y'all are crazy. I think I want to Cryptic Command counter draw on this. Just because we know our counter can't do anything, and if we find a land drop for Tasigur, I think we're just going to kill our opponent. Alright, yeah, we're going to do that. We are going to do that. Hey, a land drop. Primal Titan, Bolt, Obstinate Bailoff. Hey, another land drop. Ooh, piece of candy. Ooh, piece of candy. Alright, get Tasiglyph out there. Let's exile Ancestral, Thought Scour, Dispel, and probably another Dispel. Yeah, probably don't need the Dispel, so we won't board into Dispels. We'll board them back out for the last game. Senior Tasigur here will kill our opponent. Alright, opponent asked how many cryptics we had. I made sure to tell him at least 0. Another Colony Heart. So we know Obstinate Bailoff, Primeval Titan, and Lightning Bolt in their hand. The reason to not double away lands guaranteed is some of the spells in our graveyard we absolutely don't want back. Trying to think we can just fight through this. I think so. There's a Primetime, Obstinate Bailoff, Lightning Bolt. I don't think I even care if they get a crap ton of lands. I only care if they get a crap ton of lands and have Vellicut. Alright, let's go ahead and fire off Tasigur. I assume my opponent's just going to give me back my Fulminator Mage because they have no non-basics right now. But that can get super dicey for him, obviously. Yeah, oh my god, that name's great. I just didn't realize it till now. C-Freepio. The reason to do that is you'll frequently exile certain spells from your graveyard to set up good Tasigur activations. Here we couldn't set up an awesome one because we had so many different spells, but each of the spells that we left in our graveyard there, we left in a Fulminator Mage, a Spell Pierce, a Cryptic, a Counter Squall, another Cryptic, and a Surgical. All of those spells can be like really deadly for our opponents in different spots. So I think the worst possible one they can give us is the Fulminator, at least from our perspective, where it's the least powerful. Alright, well, we do the 4th Cryptic Command, so it's going to be hard for them to win. Obviously, we don't want to Kolaghan's Command and make them discard because we know of their Obstinate Baloth here. Yeah, if Shadow of a Doubt cost 1, there would just be like 4 in my deck. I already think that card's powerful. I don't need an incentive to play it. I already have enough of incentive. I think the card's powerful. Yeah, I don't want to make them discard, so I'm just gonna... Go ahead and Tasker activation again. Sure, I'm going to have to be discarding hand size here soon, but that's perfectly fine. Middle over another Fulminator Mage. You're giving us one of those. If we draw a land drop, we can play it. We didn't, so we'll end up discarding a couple of cards here to hand size. We can actually play a new Tasigur if we really wanted to. The problem with doing that is we're just going to actually get the first Tasigur back on the second one, and at that point we're just literally exiling cards from our graveyard for no net benefit. So here I'm going to discard the Tasigur, I think. Yeah, I'm going to discard the Tasigur and one of the Fulminator Mages. So if I get to 7 mana, I'm going to play one of the Fulminator Mages out. Sure, they can Lightning Bolt it, but at the end of the day, if they Lightning Bolt it, that's fine. If I ever get to hit a Valakut, I think they'll just concede on the spot. Oh, dude, thanks, Holy Diva. Appreciate it. Everybody from Holy Diva's chat, welcome. You are watching round 5 of our Modern League here. We're currently 3-1, and we're down a game to true Scapeshift. They're not Titan Shift. Unfortunately, did board in our Dispels, but the only instance that our opponent presented in this build of their deck were 2 Lightning Bolts and 2 copies of Summoner's Pact. Vertical Mammal, I think that's a bit of an overstatement, mainly because think of the cards that were printed in the last few years. Like you had Treasure Cruise, Dig Through Time, Ugin is seeing a lot of play. I mean, there are a bunch of really sweet cards that are been printed, like Thought-Knot Seer, Eldrazi Temple. Like, there are a bunch of really messed up cards that got printed. And I mean, messed up is a good thing. Like, look at all these fun and sweet interactive games we get to play. Yeah, Dig Through Time was a stupid card. That card was so powerful. So powerful. My opponent runs out Obstinate Baloth here. No, Scapeshift. Wait, do I? Oh yeah, I do care if they get 6 lands. I'm just dead. Alright, well, let's counter the spell that wins the game. Counter target spell, and I think we're going to bounce the Calling Heart Expedition on 2. So, counter target spell. Return target permanent to his owner's hand. Just want to make sure we don't want to bounce the land. Certainly don't. Yeah. We could Surgical Scapeshift in their draw step in the coming turn, but not too concerned about that. If we draw a land here, we'll certainly Fulminator their Stomping Ground. Ooh, a land. Alright, so let's go ahead and get Senior Tasigur in there. Bash him up. Alright, let's just take one more second to think about this. How could we possibly die? Cards we know about our opponent's hand are Lightning Bolt, Calling Heart Expedition, Obstinate Baloth, and Primeval Titan. So if we Fulminator Mage that Stomping Ground, can we lose the game on the next turn? Don't think we can lose the game on the next turn. Is there a way we can lose the game on the next turn if we hold up Cryptic and Negate? I also don't think we can lose if we do that. So, I don't really know Do it, I don't want that second green. Funny, funny friend. You're so silly. Alright. Opponent talked me into it. I might actually surgically Stomping Grounds. Thanks, Ben. Appreciate that. I'm glad you're a good friend. A true friend would root for me to lose this game. Alright. Let them draw. Do we want a surgical or Stomping Grounds? Go to 8. Sure, might as well get one more look at their deck. So now they're only 2 lightning bolts. They can't lightning bolt us out here. Alright, so they have double prime time, a fetch land, a calling heart, lightning bolt. Okay, so they're dead. Okie dokie smoky. Oh yeah, Zach, we already tried to lose. We did a very good job of it too. But it wasn't totally BM, it was just making sure there was no way we could ever possibly lose. Alright, counter target spell and draw a card. One might not be pleased with this, but did draw 4 cryptics. I'll surgical that Primeval Titan if you stay around. Careful. Yeah, Sisquia, I would not have played this game this way if I didn't have all the cryptics. There are seriously different spots where I probably would have, like, countered a Calling Heart or played more aggressively. Alright, get these, just heaven forbid these silly spells get out of our deck. Thought Scour should come back. Collective Brutality, I think, is too slow? God, I wish I could just put 4 Spellsners in my deck. Sorry, I'll rescue the Rhino. Come here, Riley, I'm sorry. I'm sorry. Sorry, baby. Here you go, sit back on your throne. There you go, now Mark's happy. See, there you go. You gotta drain the opponent for 3 life, we might need it. Yeah, Dylan, I think it's very likely we want the 3rd Surgical. I'm just trying to figure out if the Brutality is better than any of these other cards. I think it's better on the play, but on the draw it's a lot worse. Yeah, Delicious Waffles, that is kind of sweet. Like, we could cack a Scapeshift and then Surgical combo it. But I mean, what do you want to board out at that point? A Thought Scour? Alright, cool, Savannah Atoms. Thank you very much, appreciate it. I'll be loading this up to YouTube also, so you won't miss the cracking of a chest or however many you get for 4, and I don't recall. It's been so long, all I do is lose. Oh no, we can't cut a Tassiger. That's our 1-mana clock, and we've got to have the 1-mana clock. Come on, Collective Brutality, get over there. Alright, fortunately we're just going to cut that Thought Scour again, I think. I think I want the Visions. Visions are just so good, because you have to get the game to go to the long game to even win anyways, so getting to refuel is really great. I would get back Terminates. Well, Legion, the problem with that is, like, sure, they had a couple of Obstinate Balos and they had a Gaia's Revenge. Like, we saw 3 Obstinate Balos in their list, 4 Primeval Titans, and 1 Gaia's Revenge. The thing is like, we can easily just get a Tassiger into play and blank all those Obstinate Balos. And we can start cycling through Kolaghan's commands to make them blank also. The only time you ever really want to terminate it is so you can terminate a Primeval Titan that happened to resolve. But I think more often than not, when a Primeval Titan hits the battlefield, you're just going to die anyways. Do you need all 3 Tasker or so many Kolaghan's commands? Shadow Vanguard, I think you do, because I think you just need to find one to win the game. What 4 targets are the priority? Skitter, in order, the priority targets are usually Primeval Titan, Valakut, Scapeshift. Holy crap, this hand's great. And then after that, any random card you think that can kill you. Like, once you have all of the Scapeshift win conditions killed, you just kill whatever could possibly ever kill you. Alright, hopefully they don't have a search. Oh, no, they have a search. Okay, well, this game's going to get a lot harder now. Alright, again, I don't think my opponent can really, like, justify not playing a 2-mana thing, because I could just have Thought Scour in my hand here. So I think shocking myself is perfectly fine, because I would also make us play 100% of the time if I had a Thought Scour. I want to draw extra lands here, so this is the reason to not play the Pluto Delta, sack it. Plan for this turn is to snare whatever my opponent's 2-mana thing is, and then counter squall their next play. Fortunately, just suspended a second search for tomorrow. Not great, but acceptable. So here we just get to untap, drew a mountain, so now we can search for a second copy of Watery Grave. With that second copy of Watery Grave, we're going to counter squall the search for tomorrow. Awkwardly, this stupid mountain doesn't allow us to spell snare plus counter squall on the next turn. Unfortunate. Still gonna get a Watery Grave. I'm still certainly countering this. Just want to prevent my opponent's mana development. Well, I have a 4-mana counter in my hand. We have a Collective Brutality, which can go get one of their Scapeshifts out of the way. Just want to stunt their development as much as possible. Alright, opponent immediately slammed their 2-mana one. Played out a mountain. They could play a second land drop. Hopefully they don't have another one. Do you think playing 3 Fulminators and 1 Spreading Seeds would be good after 8th Revolt? And if the metagame shifts to be slower decks like Tron, Valakut, etc.? Hey, Ray727. Ooh, God, I hope we draw a Fulminator Mage soon. I think you certainly could do that. God, shocked. We'll draw a land. Alright, well, I'm going to counter the search tomorrow. Another counter squall. I think you certainly could do that. I think at that point you're better off either just playing a 4th Fulminator Mage or like a Crumble to Dust, or heaven forbid being a terrorist and putting Blood Moon in your deck, but our spell snares are looking embarrassing based on the way my opponent had double search for tomorrow, but them's the beats. Drew the mountain, that's the one land in the deck that doesn't cast any of these things. So that's rough, but alright, well, I hope you guys are right about the brutality thing. Thanks, Twin Clover. Alright, well, this is gonna have to be just the best. Just the best. Please work. Please don't have a Primeval Titan in your hands. Don't hurt me. Baby, don't hurt me. It's gonna hurt. It's gonna hurt. Oh, Jesus, they have both. It's... God, that hurts. That hurts. Yeah, not hitting our 4th lander up was bad. Usually it costs you the game. It's going to cost us the game here. That sucks. Okay. Is there anything we can possibly do here? Guess not. 4 mountains. They get 2 more mountains. We go to 9. Next turn we draw Fulminator Mage, Surgical, the Valakuts go to 3, and they have a million lands. No, I don't think that's good for us either. Like, Cryptic, tap the silly thing for a turn or 2. Yeah, Daniel. I mean, if they had just the Summoners pack there, I mean, they would just pack and just wait another turn on prime time. 1 turn too late, Steam Vents. You're killing me. Killing me. Crap. Alright, Shock ourselves, go to 13, tap 13, draw a card. Tap 13, draw a card. Okie dokie. I'd love to pay 2 life, thanks. Thanks for the offer. Yeah, Dylan, I'm still trying to like think through if there's a way we could have utilized the snares. Like maybe it was just better to play Polluted Delta. It's just really unfortunate that like opponent played around it. I mean, they could have played Explore into suspending their search. Just wanted to draw a 3rd and 4th land so badly because I had a Cryptic in hand. Maybe it's still just correct to play Pluto Delta. No, that card can't be countered. That card literally says right on it can't be countered. That's not good. I cannot counter that Magic the Gathering spell. Okay. We're gonna need like Divine Intervention to win this game. Alright, Snapcaster, welcome to the team. Okay, that's a start. Game's not over, but it's not looking great. Like, we need to catch some runners. You've caught 1. I need to catch a blue land this turn. And then I need to catch either another Snapcaster or another Cryptic the turn after. Okay, Farseek puts us to 7. That puts us to 1. That's not good either. That's probably not a good draw either. I would say we're not a favorite to win this game. Say what you might, but I would not put money on us winning the game. If I were a betting man. Not what I would have bet on a match of Magic, but I would not bet on myself. 2 Ancestral Visions. Okay. We need another Snapcaster Mage. Oh wait, stop, don't cast spells. That's not nice. Okay, I did not nice things last time. You can kill me, that's fine. It's fine. This is fine. Just cast your spell and kill me, come on. Just cast your stupid Scapeshift. Sure, whatever, dude. Just wanted to be dead. Alright. That sucks. Maybe we gave it away by just playing the Water Grave, but I think fetching there is like really bad. But I guess it just gave it away to our opponent that we had a Spell Snare the whole time. If we play the Delta, we lower our odds of drawing a land by about 2%. Not 2% on a whole, obviously. Our odds of drawing a land are less than that, but it's like one of the abstract cards in your deck. So the odds of actually like drawing a land go down by like whatever, it's 20 and 53 to 19 and 52. So it's like 0.3% or something. That's bad. Alright, whatever. I'm stupid. Alright. What happened to you, Sam? I agree with the person in the chat that was saying, or Legion, there you go. Yeah, I think fairies will get the biggest buff from that card being printed, as they were currently playing such highlight all-stars as Ultimate Price, Go for the Throat, and Victim of the Night, which some of those cards were like marginal standard playables. Like any 2-mana removal spell is going to see play in standard when it's pushed like that, but I mean those cards are not on the power rate that you need to be playing modern, excuse me. But yeah, I mean them picking up a 1-mana thing, I mean they can easily put 8 to 9, 10 fetch lands in their deck. They want to play a ton of basics anyways. You just got a 3rd pick Black Lotus with Mox Pearl still in the pack after you 2nd pick a Mox Jet. Sam, I don't know if I can construct a pack for you. That's correct. I think Library is one of the most messed up cards in the cube, but I still don't know if I would take Library and Recall over Lotus. But oh yeah, Smother. I've played Smothered before in Esper, so I know the hardships. All right, let's crack the chest. What's up, Rudy? I didn't want to open it on stream. Hey, let me give you these new nice lands. All right, fine. I'll be a stupid streamer sellout. I don't know why my chat decided to lag there, but it did. Just go ahead and open trade with me. I'm sorry. The chat will get slow rolled for another minute on opening our sweet chesto. Yo, 1 Smother, 1 Go for the Road, 1 Dismember, 1 Murderous Cut. Really disappointed with my play again today. Gotta get better at this. I'm sorry, guys. Oh man, I didn't even get to play the unhinged land. All right, we'll immediately change to these. I owe you these in the future, by the way. I should literally give you the chest. Man, just get blown out. All right, we'll change this right now. Basic land dash is land. It is the Jonathan Kasari. Oops, I guess we don't want to do that in other products. It'd be hard to find one of those in other products. Don't try this at home. Alright, this is the collection manager part of the game where you have too many cards on Moto because you don't get rid of them when you should, like a normal human being. Alright, here we go. Add 3. If it makes you feel better, I've been playing online, I've been playing like trash, apparently I can't play well at 3. I'm after... Dude, the delicious waffles, if you can play even remotely competently after a 13-hour day, I've done that a couple times. Not lately, thankfully, but like I'd go to class, have an 8 a.m. class, have another 10 a.m. class, go to my internship at 10, and we would do a late night draft to test a future set of Hex, and I'd be at the office till like 9:30, and then I would try to come home and practice for a WoW event, or maybe a Magic PTQ as a weekend, and I just could never win a game. Like, I'd fall asleep during the middle of the draft portion, like, very frequently. It was really bad. So, props to you for staying up this long. If you want to get some sleep, I won't fault you. But we're opening a chest. Corey, you have 10 chests. You need to open until you whiff. Chat will literally agree with anything that is me spewing value. We will at least open this chest. Start a drum roll. We need a drum roll emote for opening these chests. Huzzah! What do we get? You look at that card. What? Alright, I don't really understand the purpose of this card. But we already bricked. One of those losses could have been prevented forcing in game 3. We forced a game 3 in all of our matches. We want to match 1-0, we want to match 2-1, want to match 2-0. And lost to blue-black control 1-2, and then I think we punted on turn 1 by playing our Watery Grave. I didn't think that our opponent would just have the Stone Reed, that we had two spell snares. Like, I think it's correct for them to usually go explore, play the Windswept Heath that was in their hand, crack the Windswept Heath, get a force, try to suspend their next search. Had they done that, we would have been able to spell snare that, counter squall the search. They then would have just run out a Sakura Tri-Builder on the next turn, because they're still stuck on 3. That resolves. Then they go into 5 mana. We miss a land drop. But they then have to peel a land drop. Oh yeah, there we go. That .001 ticks. So what's my command? Rudy, I've literally played Commander twice. It was with my first girlfriend. People at the card store that she worked at would hand me random decks to just play with. Most of the people were WoW players that owned some amount of collection of Magic. I think one time I played Una, and that was really stupid, as I missed an infinite combo on turn 3 and then just infinite comboed the table on turn 4, decking everybody and making infinite fairies. That wasn't really that fun. The other time, I think a card's called Insurrection, and stole everyone's creatures. I think that's the name of the card. It was like 8 mana, steal all creatures in play, they all gain haste. Like, you active trees and all the creatures. To be fair, I had literally been playing Magic for like a year and a half casually at that point, and they handed me this commander deck. Like, this was literally one of their extra commander decks that they brought to the table. I'm not saying it was nice. I think it was fun in the moment, and then everyone was so unhappy. Alright, fine. Possmon wins, just to change the subject. Here we go. Hurrah! What the heck is this thing? It says Kia the Yielding. Oh, is this one of the new commander thingies? This card does not seem very powerful. I did not foil out an Una deck! Oh my gosh, you people are... Ooh, I got 2 rares. What does this do? X +1/+1 encounters, where X is the number of other creatures in the battlefield. Pay 2 and a white, remove a counter, create a 1/1 spirit. Okay, so they combo into each other. You get the first one out there, spend a crap ton of mana, make a crap ton of spirits, and then play another one. Hustling moves in Commander, Sam, you know it. My entire life's mission. I highly recommend you just read literally every single one of Paulo's articles. Paulo might still be one of the top 3 writers in Magic, and he has been for the last 5 or 6 years. Like, I don't remember the last one of his articles that I didn't read that was up on CFB. Like, I already think you should read as many articles as you possibly can, even if you disagree with, you know, the base premise of the person, just to understand more viewpoints and get more outlooks on Magic. I mean, and just life in general. Just the more information you have, I think the better decisions you're going to make in life in general. Custody Soulbinder. Guaranteed Rishton for next chest. Alright, last one. Unless we had something sweet, then we can go again. Alright, that counts as something sweet. What's a Sword of Light and Shadow worth? Damn it, chat. You guys are too strong at this. I'm like such a pansy that I get peer pressured into anything. Because it's like, yeah, what is it worth considering $3 to me? Like, nothing. The entertainment value of you guys is so high. Like, you just get to watch me incinerate money on stream because it's funny. And then I open these things and I say I'll stop doing it unless we open something cool. And then we open Sword of Light and Shadow, and it's probably worth like 6 tickets, and now we have to keep going. Aha, suckers. DST. What set is that? MMA, MS2... How's that 2 point... Are you sure it's Modern Masters? That doesn't look like Modern Masters. What's it like doing so much money on stream? We're just literally incinerating tickets. Alright, what do we get this time? Alright, this card has to be worth -$, and we get to stop. We're so lucky. Whenever an artifact enters the battlefield, it gets +4/+4. Oh yeah, look at that. Card name gets +4/+4. Mirrodin Rare. No wonder I sailed a lot on Commander decks. Yep, I just need somebody to break Sword and Light and Shadow in the Abrupt Decay Kolaghan's Command. Fair metagame. We named them Unbanned Stoneforge Mystic, and I'll just be a millionaire. I guess I would be pretty well off. I think I played 20 Grand Prix last season, and I only picked up like 15 of the Stoneforge Mystics. So I just never went and picked up my playmats. Reprinted an Aethervolt confirmed? Yeah, sort of. Sarah, the Twinkie, that's awesome. Alright. If people want to hang out, I will finish my Cube League thing here. We're going to have to look at my deck because I don't remember what's in it. But then again, I don't remember many things, so there's that. We're currently 1-1. We lost 1-2 and 1-2-1. I have no idea, Porky. I think you can get packs now, not play points. Alright, so let's drag this up. Group creatures separately. See if we got any good stuff. Alright, for some reason there's a quick interact. That should probably get cut first and foremost. Unless we needed more blue cards for Forcible, which doesn't seem like we do. We have 1 artifact, 2 artifacts, 2 planeswalkers. So we have 13 ways to flip this Delver. I guess this Delver's probably fine in our deck. I guess it's 12 once I cut this silly Quicken. Nice, Quicken's in our deck. This Desecration Demon looks nice. Should I play that? Recurring Nightmare looks okay. Yeah, Legion, I don't ever imagine being an Ashiok in my life. Delver flips every time. Yeah, Kasari, I mean, it's 12:30 though, like, what, it takes 35 minutes to play a cube match, and then we stop the stream, I go to sleep, and run it back tomorrow night, right? Like... Token 1, you're great. You don't know that yet, Jacomat, how do you say, God, I want to know how you say your name. Jacompt? No. J-Champed. I'm going to keep saying J-Champed until you correct me. Whoa. I mean, we have a Shriek Maul. That was the only reason why I wanted to play it. You want to play the Sheladrid? I mean, the card's great, but, like... I have an Entomb and Recurring Nightmare. I would need another Resurrection piece and another discard piece, I think, to play it. J-Champed? Oh, sweet, I got it. Hooray! I pronounced one word correctly in my entire life. It was that one. Alright, whatever. I'm putting this Desecration Demon in my deck. I don't think I'll get decked. It'll be tough. Alright, hopefully this deck's great. Yeah, sorry, I'm on with you, man. We need 4 mana 6/6s. Sorry if that made a really loud noise. I almost pulled my headset out of my mic. I should usually change the channel when I do this stuff, but... Channel title or whatever people call it. Maybe I have too much mana on the deck. Maybe just cut a land. We want a die roll, that's good. Force of Will, hopefully a turn 3 Ashiok. Sand's probably a keep. Also could draw a Mox Jet and just like turn 2 Ashiok and opponent's dead. Oh yeah, Rudy, that'd be great. Alright. Opponent being friendly, will be friendly back. Grixis controlling spirit. No! Alright, I want to force all that. Let them have all their mana. Just counter win cons here. Expect the Silumgar to be great against the usual green decks are just like, I think really heavy on like Austin Planeswalkers, like the Garrux and the Nissas. I usually like to draft the stupid busted decks. Sam told me he's been crushing with fair decks, and unfortunately my fair deck looked like this garbage. Where I have like 5 counter spells in my deck, 2 planeswalkers, and a bunch of dorky creatures. Which I think my deck's rancid, but it's probably fine. But my opponent has a million mana, hopefully Ashiok can win me the game. Yeah, hopefully Ashiok's GG. Avenger of Zendikar Blightsteel Colossus. Okay, so our opponent probably has Channel in their deck. Channel is a powerful Magic the Gathering card. This deck is gas? Oh god, I wish Lotus Bloom? Alright, I don't care about that either. I don't care about a lot of things that are happening on my opponent's side of the table right now, so that's good. Carrick Relentless. Probably have to force of will that. Probably pitching this Thaladel because it's never getting through a silly wall of roots out on my no blue opponent. Yeah, fine. Hopefully Dragon Lord Silumgar is as good as it looks. The card looks fantastic. It was fantastic in Standard when I played with it. Should probably attack the Ashiok, not tap for mana. There you go. Ooh, another Swamp. That was a good draw. Milia. Ooh, a Metalworker? I'm glad I have artifacts in my deck. Oh, wait, I don't. Alright, 6/6 blocker / eater of mana. Defend the Ashiok. Yeah, Sam, Silumgar was always great in Standard, so I'm hoping it's as stupid and messed up in Cube. Like, just all the Planeswalkers are so good that I imagine it's just gotta be like, steal your girl, kill ya. Oh, there's Channel. Hopefully I don't get Emrakul. They only have one card left in their hand. It can't really just be Emrakul, right? Come on, don't do it to me. Don't do that. Not like this. Alright, hopefully we're not dead. 5, 8. Tooth and Nail Entwine. That's probably pretty good for us. We're probably a favorite. Craterhoof Behemoth and Deranged Hermit. Do you think we can beat those cards? Do you think we win? I think we've got this game. Oh man, they got so lucky. Look at that. They have like 100 power in play. So we get for drafting a fair deck. Guess I should all let the stupid Garrett resolve, I guess. Man, my opponent's not even gonna let me shame block. Rude. Rude. Hope they killed the Ashiok in style. Oh, that Ashiok, that would be pretty silly. Alright. They do have Channel like I thought. They have a bunch of giant monsters. So this Lifebane Zombie's gonna be insane. Sheladrid's like fine-ish. Hey, get back out of there, we're not certain on you yet. Lifebane Zombie's 100% in. This Force Spike seems horrendous, but... Do you guys like... Do you like the Force Spike here? Yeah, Lifebane Zombie's obviously just the nutters. We get the stupid Dally thingy out of our deck. This Creation Demon looks bad. Murder's Cut might be okay. Should have like one more reanimation piece. Could like actually bring in some Tomb and Nightmare package. Swing a line, you're great. Yeah, conservative estimate at 35 minutes. We might be dead in 13, who knows? Could use Imgur to share it. That would require me to have an Imgur account and know how to use websites. We already knew that I didn't know how to like set up a microphone, so yeah, let's cut this thing then. We'll get in Sheldred or Murder's Cut. Yeah, probably Sheldred. Yeah, putting a 7-mana card on dead on turn 4 is probably not smart either. Man, look at that. Doesn't require an account. Oh. My bad, Rudy. Sorry, Sam. Cool guy Sam Black just taking over the chat. I understand. I was a cool kid once. Alright, what the heck's wrong with this deck then? Whatever, we're just gonna submit this deck. We're just gonna win the game. It's gonna be great. Because I'm stubborn. Mark, why else would I pronounce it the wrong thing? In modern deck with no artifacts, Glennis Crane is still better because you get to look at the bottom 4 cards of your library, and that's free information that you have. It tilts you more, and maybe makes your opponent feel better. That also, I guess, are they both the same creature type? I don't know. I think one's a bird and one's a drake, or whatever, right? Turn 1 Delver, turn 2 Counterspell, turn 3 Grim Monolith, and Cryptic. Yeah, Sand's probably fine. There we go. Let's see. We have a Brain Freeze, we have a Petition, Toxic Deluge, Yogwill. Be careful with your life total there. You are dangerously low with Toxic Deluge and Yawgmoth's Bargain. I didn't see how many fetches you had. I think it was only 2. Yeah, just Flooded Shrine and Misty. Can we play more lands and cut the, like, Terminate and maybe the Duress? Like, I just don't want to interact with your opponent. I'll just cut the stupid Nahiri. Nahiri sucks. Alright. Opponent Mulligan has a 41 card deck in their channel deck. Hopefully we get some justice for that. They did put their card on top, though. But our Delver's going to fight the good fight and flip here, right? The little Delver that could. Go, little Delver. Go. Dig through time. Yeah, good job, little Delver. They had no turn 1 mana dork. I think I just want to get the Grim Monolith down. Counter all their threats. I guess we can start by attacking. Figure it out after that. Next turn, Counterspell. Plus Temple of Deceit. Turn after that, Cryptic. Turn after that, Dig. Yeah, it seems fine to me. If it's wrong, it's only really wrong. Ooh, a Lifebane Zombie. See, now I'm happy to, like, Scry Swamp to the top, whereas before I would have been sad to Scry Swamp to the top. Well, I don't want a double black spell, so we'll put that on the bottom. It didn't do anything on 2 lands, that's good for us. Coalition Relic. For some reason I really want to counter the mana. It's probably just because I have this Delver, and I'm so used to when I have Delver in play, I just counter literally all of my opponent's spells. Whatever. If I draw Black Search, I'm just going to play his Lifebane Zombie as stupid Grim Monolith anyways and kill my opponent. Ooh, the Duress is a good card. Alright. Duress gives us all the information, so now we know what's going on. Hopefully we have like a 5-mana Planeswalker we can take off this too. Sword of Light and Shadow Channel. Deranged Hermit, Avenger, Zendikar, Forest. So we take the channel, leave them with the sword. Next turn they play a hermit, counter the hermit. They don't do anything this turn after. Other than play silly sword. Then we counter the Avenger with something, a cryptic, or we can find a black source and zombie it. Okay, seems reasonable to me. At 11, so we only need 4 more attacks. It's really not unreasonable. If we draw a black source, I guess it's just like still a 3-turn clock. Channel doesn't do much in 11 life. Yeah, it's possible. Cause sorry, you said that last game we just got our ass kicked. Yeah, I'm so glad I picked 1 mana 1/1. It was just 1 mana free in my deck. I'm so lucky. Wait, why is my opponent not playing their land? Otherwise you have to tap your Coalition Relic, and you'd rather just put a counter on it, friend. There you go. Alright, can I get a lovely swamp? Deuce. Alright, let's just make sure to run at the Cryptic. So this is going to tap for 2 mana. So the sword doesn't really do anything. They have Sword, Avenger. They'd have to draw a combination of 2 cards on 6 mana, allows them to do something degenerate. I think it's just correct to attack and zombie them. Sorry, you know how to attack good creatures? This impresses me. Boom. That's my jab for the day. I guess you know how to attack with 6/6 Tramplers. Alright, they drew a Golgari Signet, that's fine. Get that out of here. Get that out of here. 6 mana. Look at that mop. Yeah. It's a little shorter than I'd like it to be. You did attack me with Aether Leg. I did a lot of attacking with Brimaz though in the finals of that tournament. Sure, you have a sword. I didn't do as much attacking with Aether Leg as I would have wanted to. And I had 2 in my deck that weekend. You can tell when I got better at Magic because I would just put fewer and fewer win conditions in my deck and I'd just be like, yeah, I'll just never get them Thoughtseize, it'll be fine. Like you just started to learn how to win without win condition, did you just get your opponents to concede? Like, oh, this Mutavault can attack you 52 turns. Alright. I think it's gonna be hard to lose with the Cryptic in our hand and 2 fatal creatures on the battlefield, but shrug. Maybe a Pernicious Deed. Yeah, that format was so weird. I have literally like 3 ways to win in my entire 75, and if they all get Thoughtseize, to just lose. Like, if I draw them early on in the game, it's like, hey, well, I guess I might lose to this black-white or mono-black division player. It's like, whatever. Alright, so that seemed to certainly work better, but it obviously helped that they didn't draw any of their mana dorks. We could do something stupid, like bring in white cards. I don't have any mana fixing though. What the hell did I do this draft where the only mana fixing I got was Delta and Temple to Seat and Mox Jet? Must have not played very well. This remand looks whatever. Yeah, whatever. We're just gonna click this deck back. What's up, Danny? You are watching. We 3-2 another league, unfortunately. Didn't play great. Lost to Blue Black Control, and we lost to a Scapeshift player where I played a turn 1 Water Rave on tap instead of playing a Polluted Delta because her hand was double Counter Squall, double Spell Snare, 2 lands, Cryptic Command, and I'll be completely honest with you, I don't know what the spell we drew off the top was. But I didn't want to fetch a land out of my deck, so I decided to Watergrave Shock myself, because the same play I'd make if I had a Thought Scour, and my opponent had to read that we had Spell Snare, and then deployed all their 2-mana spells, and we had to tap out to counter Squall their Double Search from our opener. So I think we could have 4-1'd. Giving up the little piece of information there hurt us in the end. I think it especially hurt when we didn't do anything at the end of the turn. Whereas if we just played the fetch line and then just don't crack it, it's fine. Alright, so here we're going to go Inquisition into Island, into Impulse, hopefully find another Island, have Counterspell up. Opponent unfortunately kept 7 cards, so hopefully we don't die. But we have Inquisition to take their channel. Ooh, we drew Force of Will. Well, if I had to ask for one of my cards to draw, it's probably Force of Will. Holy crap, how is this hand keepable? Really? Is that hand a keep? So many mana dorks in your deck, you could just draw during the middle of the game. Now you have so many dead cards. God, I almost want to just leave in the Coalition and I'll take the stupid sword. So, Crazy Pyro, the problem with that is we saw 2 1-mana mana dorks in game 1 and a copy of Wall of Roots. So I just thought the copy of Force Spike would get dead really quickly. But it was in my main deck, I promise. You think so, Rudy? I'm just not convinced that I can actually just beat all their random creatures when they have pro-black. Yeah, I'm unfortunately not going to Louisville. Flights were like $500. It would require me to take like 1 or 2 days off work. Plus, it's my mother's birthday on Saturday. No worries, Crazy Pyro. You're good. You're always free to ask questions. You really think it's take Coalition? I don't care. For some reason, I really want to take a stupid Light Shadow. Like, I feel like just giving them all their crappy mana and then just countering all their spells is the way I'm going to win, but maybe I'm wrong. Your first thought was also Relic Danny? Well, that scares me. Right, it just makes even more of his draws bad. Like, over half his deck has to be mana. Right, that's kind of why I want to take the Sword and Light and Shadow. Alright, whatever. I'm taking it. If it's wrong, we lose, then everyone in the chat can say how smart they are and how dumb I am, and how that's just the normal occurrence. Ooh, a Delver. Ooh, a Delver. That can start killing my opponent. So let's see, they play a Relic, and then I'd have to Force of Will. God, this is tough. Kind of want to Impulse for an Island. No, I don't have to counter a Mana Dork swing a line. What the logic with that line is I don't care about any other mana. The line that I'm taking is all I want to do is... What? Who added that to MTG bot? Rudy, remove that. That's awful. There's no way I would ever do that. The reason to take the sword is that now all I have to do is counter their key threats rather than fight over all of their random crappy creatures. Like, the 20 mana sources in their deck or whatever, I ignore completely. Like, all I care about now are, you know, Avenger of Zendikar type cards. Alright, I'm Delvering here. I think I need to try to kill my opponent. Survey says Grim Monolith. Nope, that is an artifact. Is this your card? No, it is not. So obviously now I'm in a spot where, because the line I took, I have to Force of Will this Gold Elf at Forge Master. Thankfully, I have a crap ton of mana, so if I do draw one of my sweet threats, though, I'll just be able to slam a dammy do it. Unless it's a Tamiya. What the hell are you people... Oh, God. We're teaching MTG bot about jaguars and armored... Oh, no, it's female Amur leopards. I thought it said armored for a second. Garrick Relentless. So you can fight this and float to the backside, right? We're certainly forcing this, I just don't know which card we're pitching. We could impulse right now to gain more information, I guess. But the problem is then, is like, even if we go to take an island or whatever, we have to pitch the force, or we have to pitch the counterspell of Forcible, and it's like really bad. Coryphax, dear gosh. MTG bot is teaching you guys, wonderful. Well, learning's good, so that's positive. Fudge. Yeah, Danny, I agree. I just don't want to pitch this impulse at all. Just feels so bad. I just feel like a way to lose this game is like I just draw another swamp or something. Okay, here we go. I think I'm literally gonna pitch this counterspell and just try to gamble. It seems so bad though. Yeah, well, I don't know actually. I don't think I had a hair on my head, but I could be wrong. Oh, this makes me so sad. God, I can't believe I'm gonna pitch counterspell. It feels so stupid. Alright, whatever. Get out of here, counterspell. Sure, you can have a Birds of Paradise, friend. Just gonna hope that Codolithic Forge Master stays a 3/5 for the entire game, I guess. Alright, Little Delver that could. Tamiyo the Moon Sage. No, I don't really want to reveal that. But I want to draw that card. I could impulse it away. She does seem like a good card to find, though. I think I'm going to draw a Tamiyo and try to impulse into an island. Worst comes to worst, obviously, if I find a better card off the impulse, I'll just take that. I think I want to do this now in case I find my temple. Hippie. So it's playing Hippie here and just trying to go to town. This can't kill black or artifact creatures, correct? Okay. See, now I want to take Hippie, though. Because then they're just top decking for us the game, and I flip the Delver, then they're just getting clocked super hard. Like, they're getting to cast the Forge Master next turn, but eats whatever their other threat is. They have access to 7 mana, so I mean, if they drew Avenger's Zendikar, they just get to cast it. You like... Wow, you really like the Shriek Maw? Can you explain that logic to me? How's it a Delver with upside, though? It can't get through the 3/5 ever. Like, I mean, if we draw an island, sure, it can get to the 3/5, but... Like, and we already saw 2 of the big threats in his deck make a ton of counters. Or a bunch of token creatures. I think I take Island before I take Shriekmaw. Yeah, they have the 3/5 artifact creature in their hand. The only card we know of in their hand is Kuldotha Forge Master. They played this card, we discarded this card, and they played these 3 forests. Yeah, sorry. Alright, I think since I have 10 islands in my deck, I'm just going to take a Hypnotic Spectre and cast it. Alright, get him, little Delver. Hiya. Yeah, Danny, that's part of the reason why I wanted to take the island, is it's difficult for them to get 2 things down here that are artifacts unless they drew their Golgari Signet based on the deck that we've seen from them. Because, I mean, we stripped one of their artifacts early on. So, I mean, I think that's part of the reason to take the island, but I just don't know if our clock's fast enough. Like, I think we're going to too often have to draw cards off of Tamiyo to try to keep killing our opponent before, you know, 5 million of their giant, fatty, McBatty, bomb, diggity cards come and kill us. That's at least the logic behind why I wanted to take Hippie. It's probably wrong and I'm probably stupid, but... just want to win. Just want to win. Oh god, that's bad. It's an Avenger, right? Oh, Tooth and Nail. Oh, they chose to put 2 guys from their hand on the battlefield? Don't do it to me, please. Don't do it. That's fine. Sure. Sure, you can put a Lotus Cobra on the battlefield. Alright. Either flip or give me an island, little buddy. Island, sure. No, I do not want to reel that card. I do want to draw it, though. Alright. Tamiyo! God, Tamiyo's so good. I love Tamiyo. This card's so great. Get out of here, jerky 3/5. Alright, would I trade my Delver for this Lotus Cobra? I mean, Daniel, I didn't think it was optimal either at first, but it might have been better than, like, play Forge Master and pray that you discard the Lotus Cobra in case you draw a channel, but I could be wrong. I think I'd rather let the Lotus Cobra hit my Tamiyo for 2. So basically the Lotus Cobra is trading its existence for the Delver's existence, because I think it's just, like, pretty reasonable why Delver flips. No, I don't even want to trade it on defense. I think I want to trade life points on Tamiyo for life points on my opponent. Yeah, I didn't think so. Oh, you think it's actually better to just, like, let one of his cards get discarded at random? Maybe. Okay, so they also value their Cobra on defense. But they didn't play their card out. Desecration Demon. No, I don't want to reveal that one either. Here, now I've got to figure out if I want to trade my Delver for their Cobra. They might block with their birds. If they block with their birds, it also eliminates other potential mana sources that way. Yeah, Tamiyo's -2 is pretty good. It's just going to be hard to utilize when they have this Kuldotha Forge Master on the battlefield. I think I'm going to make the same play as last turn. I expect my opponent to chump with the birds, but I could be wrong. I'm certainly attacking first. I don't think I tap the birds. Worst comes to worst, we could tap the Relic. I don't think I attack with the Delver, but Voltaic key incoming? Yeah, I think the Desecration Demon's going to do a good enough job killing him that... Sure, if they have a token creature, this could get dicey, but... Only going to 6 mana, and they could have cast a Dragon Charm that turn, so it has to be Avenger of Zendikar for me to be super fearful. Right, lock this thing down again in case you're an artifact. Sure, you can charge your thing. I think I might have been able to sneak 1 damage there with the Delver. It's close. Okay, they drew a land, so if it was Avenger of Zendikar that they had drawn, they drew the mana to get there. But they had it with or without the Lotus Cobra, right? Oh no, I guess they didn't, so I guess they should have attacked for 1. Okay, so this thing makes like 15 guys? 5 guys, okay. So that's probably the draw I least wanted to see, but not the end of the world. Ashiok. No, it doesn't flip my friend either, but... Let's go to combat. I assume they'll sack a plant. Maybe I'm wrong, because maybe they need all that power to fight through Tamiya. Okay, now the question is, do I even attack with Hippie? I think the answer is no. So I think now I want to trade Delver for Lotus Cobra and block Hippie. Or sorry, block Delver on Avenger and block Hippie on a plant. Let's try to go off with this Ashiok. Yeah, I agree, crazy. So I think no attacks here. Certainly can. Based on what we mill over here, we can try to reevaluate on what we're tapping in Tamiya. We got a Master of the Wild Hunt, a Wall of Roots, and a Forest. The thing doesn't get haste, right? Oh, it sort of does in that we would try to tap this. He would in response sack all of his stuff. I think I'm gonna tap the stupid Cold Alpha guy again. This is gonna cause me to have to chump block this Avenger, but that's fine. Right, Danny. Good call. Oh, stop drawing giant monsters, please. Oh, that probably kills us. They get Crater Hoof and have 1,000,000 power. Whatever. Guess we should have let him draw that Wall Roots. Rip. Fair decks suck. Don't draft fair decks. No, I just want to draw my next card. No, that sucks. Whatever. Alright, at least we don't have to finish one of those anymore. Yeah, I agree, Jordy's mom. Whatever. Happens. Alright guys, I'm going to get some sleep before work tomorrow. It's already 1:15 here on the West Coast, but we got a working webcam now. Slowly starting to play worse. Telric, if you're at least going to go for the explain quality emote, you got to spell it correctly. There you go, much better. Open chest. How many do we have? 6? Yeah, screw it. We'll open one more. Oh god, no, I don't want to open all those. Sorry, it was loud. Who knows? Maybe we'll open a Risha import. Alright, I don't know what that does. Exchange life totals of your opponent. Alright, that sounds fun. Yeah, Evil Gizmo. I think that's actually where most of the people that you'll hang out here with in chat actually know me from. I sort of built a, I guess, resume, if you will, over the last probably 12 to 14 months playing Grixis Control in Modern. That's mostly why we've been streaming Modern Grixis Control. As I picked up in 5 Grand Prix finishes, I have 2 12-3s and 3 top 8 finishes with a finals loss and 2 quarterfinals losses. I'm currently a gold level pro, and I'm on Team Channel Fireball. So, can't complain, life's pretty good, especially for a kid that wasn't qualified for any Pro Tours, 17 months ago. Cool deal. Well, welcome to the stream, and hopefully you had a good time. If you did, follow me on Twitter. I am at Corey_Burkhart, and my Facebook is Corey.Burkhart15. Feel free to hit me up with any questions there on either of those mediums. I'm always down to ask questions. You can always save them for the next stream. I'd be super shocked if I don't stream tomorrow. I'll tweet out before all that happens. Might try a different build of Grixis, although I think this build could have 5-0'd today if I just played a little bit better. Certainly would have helped if we ran slightly better against the blue-black opponent and played better against the Merfolk opponent that almost decked us, but in all, trying to get our wheels back under us. So yeah, Daniel Betancourt is Modest Mage. I teamed with him and Andrew Quester, 2 of my buddies that used to live in Bakersfield, but now Andy's moved up to Oregon. That was the first Grand Prix I ever played in, was the team limited Grand Prix. They convinced me to drive 7 hours or whatever to play that. Alright, Rudy, you'll have to help me out with that tomorrow then. We drove all the way up there. We got eliminated in round 9. We were at 6-3, but then we got to play our last 2 rounds. We played against like Ben Stark, Martin Yuza, and then the next round we played against Yuya Watanabe's team. And I mean, as a 20-year-old kid that was just getting into Magic and knew who all these people were, it was like super fun to get to play against people way better than myself. And how do I know Andy? You can thank Modest Mage. That's Daniel Betancourt there, Dreddy. I like Oregon. The weather's beautiful. People are super nice. In all, definitely a place I could live. Rudy will do. If you're around late afternoon, I'll hit you up. Or I might just hit you up during the day, if like on lunch or whatever, and you just tell me what to do, because it can't be that difficult. I don't know, I linked up some credit card thing and some PayPal thing, but I didn't know how to set up all the buttons. All that jazz. Evil Gizmo, you can hit me up about anything. If it's Magic related, of course. Twitter or Facebook, whichever works best for you. Just shoot me a message and... Yeah, true name, you can certainly thank that. I originally got into Magic to try to learn how to draft better, so I invested a couple $100 into Moto, and all I did was draft and just get my face pounded in Zendikar. And the only thing I tried to do was like, okay, how do I read signals? What's going on in this set? Try to understand structurally what's going on. I mean, at the end of the day, I can't complain. I think it's also gotten me a job where I understand sets on a pretty deep level. I thankfully also get to work on one of the teams that is certainly the best at limited. We put up the best limited win rate in almost every Pro Tour for the last 5 or 6. I guess not 5 or 6 because there was the one in Atlanta we got pounded in every format ever. We figured out white black was great and 5 color was great, but I don't know. I'm very, very lucky to be a part of Team CFB. Those guys are fantastic. We somehow lost a card from our sideboard. We need to get our negate back. It ran away. Yeah, I ended up playing that Mox with 4 Grixis Saint Traps and 4 Tidal Scholars in my deck. No. Alright, but thank you for hanging out, everybody. Again, feel free to follow me on any of those social media aspects. I will certainly be posting about a half hour before I stream again. Aim is for tomorrow evening. And Outside of that, thanks for hanging out. As always, ask any questions you feel like. Oh, I do remember, we need to go figure out somebody to hang out with. Is there anybody sweet streaming right now? I've got to figure out how to use this auto host button, but that'll be a little bit difficult. Add auto host. Man, this is the difficult part of streaming. The easy part is just hanging out with you guys talking into a microphone and just getting to hang out and chat and laughing at myself the entire night. Now the hard part is all the technical stuff where it's just like, the interface is super intuitive, and it's so intuitive to the point where it's unintuitive. Where you just can't imagine somebody would have gotten this all correct. But they actually just thought, how would a user use this? So I feel like I'm going to go click on this person's channel, and if I hit host, no, I don't want to report Caleb, I want to send you guys to Caleb so you can watch him in his awesome cube draft. How do we do that? That's a cheer button. Wait, Sam, you're going to fire up a stream? Night Evil. Thank you again for hanging out. Oh yeah, here's the Twitter one more time. Type host name. Alright, let's give that a whirl. Worst comes to worst, if this doesn't work, and Sam Black streaming, you can always hang out with Sam Black. Or my suggestion is always, open up every single Magic stream. Watch and chat in one and listen to the other. But anyways, have a great night, everybody.